Allow the two children to have the budget. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo to Maiyegun la wa mo to do. Maiyegun la wa mo to do.
Good morning to you.
Good
Afternoon to you.
afternoon.
And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Maiyegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, read the caption of this broadcast, and please read beyond the caption. Read the description of this broadcast. Like it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Maiyegun today, Motideo.
Ani Maiyegun la wa mo do. Ani esuraki.
Thank you.
Ojelu esuraki.
Whatever you are going through in Nigeria right now, I am only preparing you for the future. If you don't enjoy it, your children and children will enjoy it. Who said that? Thiefnubu to Nigerians. Meanwhile, Bello Turuji, the Fulani terrorist leader, is also back in the news. Same as Sepatawale, the supposed Minister of State for Defense. They will catch him. That's what the military says. The army. Nigeria court in Abuja freed, granted bail to the hungry Nigerians that protested the end bad governance in Nigeria. They've been granted 10 million naira bail. Share this. Thank you. Today. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in and joining us tonight. It is Maiyegun Live. And yes, another steamy night for every one of us. So thank you for joining us. Yesterday, Thiefnubu and his supposed handlers, they released this long torrential called statements as a response to all the counter criticism, counter call out coming from their, their actions in the past week, where they have been hunting down those considered as the critic of his illegitimate regime in Nigeria. The latest of that was the kidnapping of the NLC president, Joe Ajero, on his way to London to attend the TUC International Conference, so to say. So he was arrested or kidnapped. I love using kidnapped. So he was kidnapped at the airport. they said Ajero has something to do with the end the bad governance protest in Nigeria, including the indictment of a Briton, a librarian, somebody who owned a library in Nigeria, a British citizen, accused of funding end bad governance in Nigeria, which automatically put Ajero, according to them, on the spot, because the intention of the end bad governance in Nigeria, according to the Dokpemu Stupid Service under Thiefnubu, was that their intention was to overthrow Thiefnubu's illegitimate regime, and therefore they would take none of that. They said for the sake of national security, that's what they said. They said for the sake of national security, some people's actions are threatening Nigeria's national security, and therefore they won't take it lightly with anyone. That same day that they kidnapped Ajero, right? They also went to the Serap's office, where they surrounded their office in Abuja, demanding for the directors or the leaders of the Serap in Abuja. They didn't really get to have any of them arrested until, before they left. But there are so many media batching as usual that is this democracy? Should democracy really be crazy demo? So Kolu and his gang responded to that. They said people are hungry and people are angry. How do you expect to beat a child? And at the same time, you want to dictate how the child should cry. You have unleashed the most inhumane policies on the people, and more people are falling into this hard time created by Thiefnubu. So in one stretch, they decided to respond. Don't worry, I'm not going to read all of that to you. I'll give you the summary. It's all long sort of torrential nonsense. But the highlight of it is that, no, you are wrong. No country will look away when some group of people have decided to overthrow the illegitimately formed government. I'm using that because that's who they are. They are not legitimate. So to say, Thiefnubu didn't win any election in Nigeria. Thiefnubu did not win any election to become president of Nigeria. He bought it, long story. And many of you are what? You are witnesses. He's got his own enablers, those who felt like as long as they are paid, as long as it benefits them. Well, if you are not comfortable with it, then you are enemy of Nigeria. Though they've done this many times, remember, that democracy was supposed to be a government where you have the freedom of this, freedom of that, freedom of this, freedom of that. But all those freedoms are now like fantasies. They are not freedom. Freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. All these freedoms have been revoked in Nigeria under the supposed Democrats. They are not democratic, you know that. Anyway, so people expressing themselves and then expressing their disgusts, their disappointments in this illegitimate regime has been considered as an affront. You know, if you criticize Thiefnubu in their own dictionary, when you criticize Thiefnubu like Bokwari, it simply means that you hate Nigeria. If you do not agree with Thiefnubu and his gang, automatically you are considered as an enemy of Nigeria and you will be treated as such. It doesn't matter, even if it is obvious that you are reacting as a patriot. You know, let's say we'll say like patriotic Nigerian, so to say, you have the right to say, I am fighting for my country, even though you don't have any country though, right? But still, by mere, geographical expression as Nigeria is, there are people who are living there and they are humans, which also have the universal right called human rights. Nobody gives that to you. It is God-given right until the dictators disguised as a Democrat decided to interpret that same right for you. And in their honest word, they want to tell you if you have any right or you don't. In this case, you do not. And to prove it to you, they said, take a look at America. The same America that a lot of you want to use as a yardstick for democracy. Donald Trump is not being investigated. Donald Trump is not standing, despite being a former president of the United States. This is Thiefnubu talking, okay, not me. That look at Joe Biden and his son, Hunter Biden, who also pleaded guilty recently because the FBI, the American law catch up with them, and therefore, no matter what their status is in the society, they are not bigger than the law. This is the drug dealer, the drug baron that bought all institutions, compromised all institutions that could have put him in jail, compromised them to become your president, now quoting the law of the United States of America. Joke, right? I know. So they said that if you are complaining about the way Thiefnubu is handling those he called the enemies of Nigeria, including you that disagrees with him, well, take a leave from the American democracy. Nobody is above the law. Since you are not above the law, if you say something that they believe is going to bring the government of Nigeria down or break up Nigeria, you will be treated as enemy of Nigeria. Therefore, people who they arrested for protesting are being charged for treason, that they want to overthrow Thiefnubu's government. This allegation is also being kind of, debated in their court as we speak. So to Thiefnubu, you're not doing anything wrong. If you are not comfortable with that, then leave Nigeria. Go and live somewhere else. That is their verdict. And concerning those of you who are saying the reason why you are angry is because you are hungry. You are angry because you are hungry. That too does not also gel with their own law, with Thiefnubu's new law. You know? So if you are currently going through hardship, suffering, listen, it's just a sacrifice. Thiefnubu said he is actually preparing you for your future, okay? That he is laying the foundation for the future prosperity, okay? That his policies, his reforms, they are to help you, even if you die suffering, if you die in poverty, don't worry. Your children will benefit later. Come on. That does not give you the right to come out and say, you no go agree, you no go agree. If you try that, you will be charged for treason. Man, so to those of you who still have it in mind that you are in democracy, you better, please, think it over again. You are not. You are in dictatorship. And right now, it is Thiefnubu and his gang. Just Thiefnubu and his gang are those who can tell you what are your rights. And if you dare challenge it, you will end up facing treasonable felony charges. Joke? I don't think so. It's not joke. It's a serious stuff right now that in case if you still think you are practicing democracy, you better think again. Well, leaving that, the people who said we are hungry, hunger day, few weeks back, in August, yeah. Remember, End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. The Nigerian army killed over 100 people. Nigerian army, Nigerian police, they killed over 100 people. Arrested, according to them, they arrested over 1,400 people across Nigeria. The hungry Nigerians. Now, they are being charged for treason. But surprisingly, treasonable felony of Thiefnubu in court got a bill attached to it. So today, their court granted bail to the supposed hungry Nigerians that protested hunger in August. And the hungry Nigerians that could barely feed, the ones they granted bail to, are told to go and bring 10 million naira bail before they could be freed. So we are now talking about 10 million times 100. I think that should be probably over how much? 1 billion naira bail. So the Jadeyoju and Co, who actually stood in for the arrested and secured their bail today. I'm not sure if they secured the bail bond, right? So let's start from their courts. You know, somebody said, if you want to face this criminal government in Nigeria, you will be so foolish and stupid to do so by carrying placard. It is our right. My rights is my right. We are hungry and stuff like that. You will be foolish carrying placard facing these rogues. The likes of Ethuruji, the politically sponsored terrorists from northern Nigeria, Fulani terrorists, he's not carrying placard. And guess what? He's been having exchanges with the supposed, with the supposed defender of Nigeria democracy, the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Ministry of Defense, where Patawale, the Fulani terrorist sponsor, and at the same time a minister in Nigeria, is having a face-off with the top shots, Fulani terrorist leader, Bello Turuji. We'll come back to that one too, right? Man, I've got so much gist for us tonight. Let's start from the courts, where the Jadeyoju and Co are making effort to secure the release of those arrested for protesting against hunger and Thiefnubu's inhuman policies or reforms, you say. So today, from their courts, or let's say from their courts.
Justice has prevailed. Justice has prevailed. I want it. Please, keep moving. You see what I said? You see what I said? You don't deserve to be handcuffed, and they stopped it. Yes, you see the press. You should fight. Now they are not being handcuffed.
You know, I don't like to talk about the propriety or otherwise of any matter that is already before the court, because doing so will be sub judice. But having said that, I sincerely think that government has better things to do. They should go after people like Bello, who are apparently above the law. What has protesters done to warrant a charge? What has Isaac Bristol done to warrant any charge? An innocent person. You know, they just go about chasing shadows when there are more important business for the government to face. The government should be should not be as angry as they are with protesters. The government should be more angry with the bandits that have killed 80-something people in Yobe. The government should be more angry with the bandits that have killed 30-something people in Niger 3 days ago. Those are the issues. Government should tackle unemployment. Government should tackle insecurity across the country. Put a halt to kidnapping in the country. Those are the issues. We should not be in court. Protest cannot be a crime. We should not be in court talking about protests. We should not be in court talking about journalists doing their work or anything. You know, and you, in the process of looking for journalists doing their work, you go and arrest an innocent man. You say, oh, because you suspect that he's the one. The man says he's not the one. You are not saying any other thing. You know, so these are the issues for me. It's painful that this is 2024 and we are still discussing things that used to happen in the 60s. Violations of fundamental rights that used to happen back in the 1960s, and it's truly and this is being done by a man who has always protested, you know, and this same man has called for revolution before in this country, and the protesters are only demanding an end to bad governance. Journalists are highlighting corruption. They are not arresting the corrupt people, but they are arresting innocent people. You know, I don't like to talk about the propriety or otherwise of any matter that is already before the court, because doing so will be sub judice. But having said that, I sincerely think that government has better things to do. They should go after people like Bello, who are apparently above the law. What has protesters done to warrant a charge? What has Isaac Bristol done to warrant any charge? An innocent person. They just go about chasing shadows when there are more important business for the government to face. The government should not be as angry as they are with protesters. The government should be more angry with the bandits that have killed 80-something people in Yobe. The government should be more angry with the bandits that have killed 30-something people in Niger 3 days ago. Those are the issues. Government should tackle unemployment. Government should tackle insecurity across the country. Put a halt to kidnapping in the country. Those are the issues. We should not be in court. Protest cannot be a crime. We should not be in court talking about protests. We should not be in court talking about journalists doing their work.
Because Nigeria is a lawless place. The earlier you all admit to that, the better for everyone. Rather than kind of beat about the bush and trying to want to be politically correct. Thiefnubu and his gang of criminals, they are operating not with any law. Nigeria is a lawless country. Because every time people talk about law, I'm like, when is this delulu going to stop? Like, when are you actually going to be honest, with yourselves and say, you are not in a lawful country. You are in a lawless country. How did a drug dealer, a drug baron become your president? How? Because you have a legal system, a judicial system that is stinkingly corrupt. It's actually considered as the most corrupt judiciary in the entire world. That's a medal of honor. They wear it with pride. Which judge, which courts actually admitted peaceful protesters and was ready to sentence, admitted peaceful protesters into court for treason? And the judges who they presented the case to are actually seated. They want to listen to the case. So Thiefnubu is not the only person that has compromised your system. He didn't do it alone. He's not doing it alone. He's doing that with those who are supposed to actually stand up to him, but they won't. Because the entire system stinks. So rotten. Let's go back to that same court where this also happened as well. I think Degis was there too on this same issue, similarly. Hey, well, okay, I found it.
Although it is not Uhuru yet, but this is a great day for democracy. We're not celebrating the liberty of peaceful and rightful protesters. These are things of matters of course in civilized societies. But the court has taken the decision that notwithstanding the high-flying charges against the defendants, they are entitled to their right to liberty as a matter of course. The court has granted each of the defendants bail upon certain conditions that we hope will be met in the next few hours or a day or thereabouts. But I raised another fundamental issue, which is the fact that a set of 49 defendants were remanded in court by a court order for 60 days under the law, Section 396 of the ACTA. The remand is supposed to be for a period of 14 days and to be renewed upon an application by the prosecution or by the states. Charges have been filed against 10 of the first set of 49 defendants. Another set of 79 defendants are languishing in prison custody as we speak, without trial, without arraignment in court. It should not be. What now happens to the first sets of 49 defendants and the remainder 39 of the first set that are still languishing in prison custody, whose only sin was their daring to challenge the states to end bad governance and make the country better? When does it become a crime in this country to ask for a better country? The court is bound, as a matter of fact, to say that this other set of 39 defendants who has not been produced in court should be released alongside their co-detainees on bail. Bail is an article of good faith donated by the Constitution. It derives from the laws of God. God gave man in the Garden of Eden liberty. And the Constitution did not donate this right. The Constitution only reinforces the right, which is the law of God himself. No man, and I repeat, should be held in prison custody for demanding and asking for what is right, proper, and just. As we speak today, the landing price of fuel is 1,135 naira, which is even above what the country is charging today. These are part of the grievances of the Nigerian citizens, which they are asking for, that governance be better. We're happy the court has gotten a bill. We will perfect the bill conditions, and we will move from there and come for the trial on the 27th for the state to prove its case. But we also demanded that the body of evidence, the allegations that have been laid against the defendants, there is no scintilla of evidence before the court to prove those charges. We have demanded that the state should have the temerity and the balls to present this evidence in court on that day and furnish it to us ahead of time so we can adequately prepare for their defense. But God willing, liberty is sure for Nigerians.
What I have to say is that the government should go and focus on more serious things. You should go and arrest Yabelo. Yabelo is currently above the law. Why are we here? Why are we even here? Let's get serious. 80-something people were killed in Yobe by terrorists. The government is not angry. The government is angry with protesters. 30-something people were just killed in Niger 2 days or 3 days ago. The government is not angry. The government is arresting protesters. How can you say protest is a crime and you even charge people therewith? It doesn't make any sense that we are even here in the first place. So I will not comment on the propriety or otherwise of what's already before the court. However, I enjoin the Nigerian government to get serious. Stop arresting labor leaders. Stop arresting protesters. Stop going after journalists. Focus on tackling insecurity in the country. Go and arrest Yabelo. Why are you scared of Yabelo? You understand? After all, Yabelo is disregarding and disrespecting the court. The court has ordered for his arrest, but the government is afraid. The government is afraid to arrest Yabelo. But the government is angry with protesters. What kind of a country is this? And finally, I want to sincerely appeal to the citizens that citizens must rise up and protest. Protest is a constitutional right. Don't be scared. All these things they are trying to make people scared so that people will not come and protest. Look at how can fuel be more expensive in Nigeria than even mineral. We have the crude. The crude is here. Fuel should be cheaper than pure water. But we have the crude. Bad leadership is our problem. The governor stealing our money is our problem. If they cannot go after Yabelo, why are they arresting and parading protesters? Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm very much comfortable. First, let me sincerely appreciate the kind ruling of my Lord. Bail has been granted to the like sum of 10 million naira. And with the production, yes, 10 million naira, with the production of a shorty, one shorty to each of the defendants. With their they will deposit their international passport and their recent passport and their NIN, that is National Identification ID card. I think that's all.
The incarceration of protesters is a stain on the collective consciousness of Nigerians. The problem of this country are not the people protesting. The subject of the protest is what the government should rather focus on, to arraign people and prosecute them for expressing their fundamental rights, a right that was given to them by God, to complain about the problems that they are experiencing as a nation. It is an aberration on the justice system of a country like Nigeria that other African countries should be looking up to. The world is watching us, and we expect that this court use this case to redeem its image and communicate to the Nigerian people that there is still justice for Nigerians in their own country. Thank you.
Name and your organization.
Okay. My name is A.A. Askira. I watch brief for Citizens Liberty Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association. We have seen the ruling of the court. For the first time, we have seen justice because everybody is happy in the court. From the defendants, the prosecutors, the defense counsel, all are happy. This is what we expect from the Nigerian court, justice, not judgment. Today, this ruling says that Nigerian judiciaries are good to go. Thank you so much.
You know, these defendants were arraigned last week, and the matter was adjourned today for they moved oral application for their bail. and the matter was adjourned today for ruling. So, and the court, in its wisdom, has ruled, granting them bail with conditions. So, the matter has been adjourned for trial. I'm coming. The matter has been adjourned for trial. So, while the matter was adjourned for trial, the counsel to the defendant raised an issue that there are some other defendants who have been remanded in custody, and that is not connected or not charged along with this case. So the issue of those defendants who have been separately remanded by the order of the court on a separate application, different from this one, can never be joined with this one. This ruling was based on the application that was moved in respect of this matter before the court. So the court is only the bail granted is only limited to this case and not to any other case. So that is the clarification we need to make. There are two separate matters here. There are two separate charges with separate numbers. So granting bail in one cannot apply to another one. So that is what we want the council to understand. That's what we are trying to also make him understand. That whatever condition given in this application cannot apply to any other case. So that is So the matter has been adjourned today until 27th of this month, and the court also granted accelerated hearing. That is what.
But ẹni tá a rí pé tó ti pa fóònù tá a mọ iná náà tú ẹ mo dẹ̀ sọ pé káwọn ọlọ́pàá ṣe best infestation ní orí ẹ ẹni tó bá ṣe ọlọ́pàá ṣe kí ni àfọwọ́ òfin mu ìkọ́tẹ́mi yìí mọ̀ pẹ̀ nìyẹn. But ẹni tá a rí pé tó ti pa fóònù tá a mọ iná náà tú ẹ mo dẹ̀ sọ pé káwọn ọlọ́pàá ṣe best infestation ní orí ẹ ẹni tó bá ṣe ọlọ́pàá ṣe kí ni àfọwọ́ òfin mu ìkọ́tẹ́mi yìí mọ̀ pẹ̀ nìyẹn.
Nigeria. I know, did you observe that? They are colonial wigs. Very nonsense people, or very nonsensical people. Why are they still wearing that wig? So that they can be like their colonial masters and continue the tradition, right? The tradition of the state versus the state versus. Yeah. They've been granted bail, but there are still many others whose cases have not even popped up. I'm talking about hundreds of others who are languishing in different prison cells across Nigeria. All because they complained that they are hungry. They were hungry. We are hungry. Oh. The cost of living crisis has swallowed so many up. For those who are still alive and still have this, have the strength of shouting, I'm hungry, being power. You shout, you go to jail. Being power, you go to jail. That is what Nigeria is right now. Somewhere in Lagos, we have those who are supposed to be the family members, members of the public, demanding the release of those whose cases have not even been presented to any courts as we speak. This happened.
Part of today's action. Briefly, today's action has been called by several civil society organizations and people of good conscience to demand the release of protesters who are languishing in police and prison custody because they came out alongside thousands of other Nigerians last month to demand an end to bad governance, to demand an end to neoliberal policies of fuel price hike and increase in electricity tariff, to demand an end to the condition of hunger and poverty in the midst of abundance that the Thiefnubu regime, alongside with other governments before him, have imposed on our lives. We are here today, 11th of September 2024, Wednesday, at the office of the National Human Rights Commission to submit a petition highlighting our grievances, highlighting the attacks on democratic rights, by the Thiefnubu government, highlighting the fact that those protesters who are in prison today, who are on trial today, have done nothing wrong. As you also know, today is the day that these protesters, Adaramoye Michael Lenny, Osio Sodiq, Daniel, not Daniel, Angel, Innocent, and others will be reappearing at the Federal High Court, FCT Abuja, where a ruling will be given on their bail application. On September 2nd, they were arraigned in court on charges of treason, of mutiny, of plotting to overthrow the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those charges, if they are found guilty, carry the maximum penalty of a death sentence. That is to tell you what those young people are facing today. The Tinubu regime is asking for their life just because they dared to complain about the condition of hunger and hardship we are all facing. So while we are here today in Lagos State, it is in solidarity with them. Because even though we cannot go to Abuja, but we are also sure that there are many of our people in Abuja who are also going to be doing something similar as we are doing right here at the Federal High Court. But those of us in Lagos feel that we cannot sleep at our homes. We cannot go to work on this particular day as if the country is okay. We have to come out here in solidarity with these young Nigerians who are on trial, because they dare to speak for all of us. As they say, an injury to one is an injury to all. So what we are here to do, therefore, is to present a public petition to the National Human Rights Commission, which has a mandate to investigate matters of human rights violation, to correct any government that is going against international norms, especially the treaties and obligations that Nigeria is a party or is a signatory to, either at the African level or at the international level. So this is more or less like a wake-up call on the National Human Rights Commission. We are sure that the National Human Rights Commission itself is not oblivious of what we are saying. A few weeks ago, after the August 1 to 10 protest, the National Human Rights Commission itself issued a statement highlighting the fact that over 1,200 Nigerians were arrested, on trial and false charges. So, but what we are here to say is that it's not enough for the Human Rights Commission to simply say this, while this grievous attack on democratic rights continues on a daily basis. Just last week, one of our comrades in Abuja, Daniel Akande, was picked up at the church premises. The police and DSS invaded his church. They first cornered his pastor, and threatened him and said that one of their church members is a murderer. And on that basis, they were able to get them to the church premises. And they attacked himself and his wife, dragged them out like animals. Right now, they are being at the detention facility of the IMT over the past 1 week. They have not been charged, neither is anything being said about what exactly the state has against them. But we are also hearing information that many other people have equally,
been kidnapped. That's the word. So Thiefnubu arrested protesters and charged them with treason. And if they are found guilty, they will be killed. You might have been seeing a lot of people who once claimed that Thiefnubu, a Democrat, is coming to fix and change Nigeria. And they fought tooth and nail with everyone that told them it's a scam, it's a lie. Somebody who compromised institutions to gain power is never going to use it for you. You did not elect him. You will suffer in his hands, right? And a year and a half later, 15 months after, even those who shouted, I want to come, are beginning to, or have already started crying. Any con, no more. Being power, we are hungry. But you might have seen a lot of them recently renouncing their support for Thiefnubu. Let me remind you of something too, okay? Majority of those who supported the Thiefnubu to carry out this electoral haste, the destruction of institutions to gain power, majority of them crying today. They are not crying because they have any regrets. I can say this to you for free. And I beg of you to please take this old truth. Most of Thiefnubu's supporters, online and offline, claiming to be regretting their support for him. They are not regretting because Nigeria has gone to the dogs. Majority of them are regretting because, not regretting, they are screaming because this is not what they expected. I am talking about those who you might think, now that they say they don't, they regretted supporting Thiefnubu, and you might think it's because they love Nigeria. Nobody loves Nigeria. Don't ever be deceived again in your life, right? None of these guys care about Nigeria. They're just so disappointed that their permutation and expectation was that they would be favored. Somehow they deserved to be favored. They pushed tribal bigotry, religious, divisive bigotry, all kinds of divisive rhetorics to make sure that they legitimize illegitimate drug dealer as your president. They will do it again if they are given another chance. And I just thought I should say that before. Some of you will say, oh, for example, if you come across any of them online or even offline, and you are discussing with them and say, oh, man, Thiefnubu, they are actually those who are crying mostly right now, right? And sometimes when you see them, you might think, oh, they are regretting. Look at them. Oh, I feel sorry for they are claiming to be hungry. Some of them are even cursing Thiefnubu. And to you, man, these people are regretful now. If any chance come, they will deal with Thiefnubu. Please don't be that naive. None of these guys, anyone you see around Thiefnubu, as selfish, as self-centered as they are, has any genuine regrets whatsoever. They will do it again. Yes. They will attack you again if they call for another election. Even as much as a lot of them are suffering right now, call for an election next month in October. You will be surprised that the same hungry people, they will brush up their tribal armor and put them on, and they will kick off their tribal bigotry, religious fanaticism, and every other threat. They will do it again. And that's why you shouldn't be, by any means, get carried away. If you see anybody where they complain right now, and you know they are Thiefnubu's or APC supporter, I beg of you, do not fall into their scam. If they are dying, I beg of you, let them die. And this is not because you are heartless, okay? No. These are people who brought this upon you. Their actions and inactions have destroyed lives, have destroyed businesses, they have destroyed families, and they will do it again without blinking. If you see any northerner that supports APC, and somehow you think, oh, they are regretting because Thiefnubu is showing them shege. Please don't be that naive. I don't want to say don't be that stupid. Or maybe I should just say that. Please don't be that stupid to think anyone at all that has any sort of a flair for APC, somehow, because of this shege, because of this hardship, because of this failure, they have learned their lesson. Don't be that stupid. These are people that will continue to do the same thing again and again. They will cry again and again. And you will always be their direct beneficiary of their actions. So most of them have got nothing to lose. You've got a lot to lose. A lot that these criminals will take from you. How about you kind of keep your sympathy to yourself? How about you learn how to keep grudges? I've seen some of them on social media coming about and say, I regret. Man, I need to go. We need to join hands together and remove this government. They still will never. The bigots, they're always going to still hate the Igbos. If you are an Igbo person, and somehow you don't catch feelings, I just feel sorry for them. I know that they are, you are just a disaster waiting to happen. You are going to be destroyed by their greed and selfishness, self-centeredness and short-sightedness. Do not pity anybody that tells you they are repentant APC or repentant Ronuku or Ronu Nazi. If you see any Ronu Nazi, that is what Yoruba call Kaiku AB Ejekoku. Do you understand? Look away, please. They are the enablers of these guys. They drive. What drives them is the politicized hatred, which the criminals like Thiefnubu and gang have milked and used. Whatever they are going through right now, whatever you are going through right now, they are the architect of it. You see, those who will tell you, I don't understand why people will be making enmity of politics. Politics is just like this. Everybody have their own political choice. I can never be enemy of anybody because of their political choice. You are just stupid. Seriously, you are just a dafty. No, we have a way we call it in Scotland. A dafty. That's who you are. If you believe that politics should not separate you and your family. Politics can never come between me and my friends. Who told you are friends? Anybody supporting APC, even by any tiny little thing, have you not seen it that people who have businesses, people who have things to lose, who saw through the charade, who saw through the emptiness of Thiefnubu, they didn't care. Educated people didn't care. Thiefnubu, a kleptomaniac. APC, a destructive vehicle that has destroyed Nigeria beyond recognition. Somebody is now telling you, politics can never come between me and my friends. You are just a dafty. You will die from the consequences of your foolishness. It's just that the death is going to be slow. If it comes faster, lucky you. You may not know what God is doing for what God will do for you if your death and your destruction comes quickly. And then you're gone. A lot of people are dying slowly. They are having deteriorating health as we speak. And those who brought this upon you, they will do it again, and again. Then they will turn around. Don't judge me because of my political choice. You are just being immature. You need to grow up. Politics is like everybody have their own choice. Of course, everyone has their own choice. But when people keep making choices that destroys your hard work, devalues Your own sweat. People are working and they are slaving. Then look at those who actually have nothing because of the policies of these criminals. Learn how to keep your grudges, or you will die from your foolishness. I promise you. You see a lot of them today. This government has to do something. How can we be buying a liter of petroleum? How can I be buying a petrol for 1,300? What is all this nonsense? Ashiwaju, this is not what we voted for. I regret voting for They have no regrets. The reason why they are crying is because they never thought that those of them who stood with a call that they will also be so affected and nobody will even care about them. Nobody gives a damn about you. Learn how to keep your grudges. Keep it to the end. If you see something you want to share, you should look out for other victims. If you see any Thiefnubu supporter, any member of your family, friends, neighbor, anyone that once told you, it is not the fault of Thiefnubu that Nigeria is going down, and you are telling yourself, I can never let politics divide me and my friend, you will die in your foolishness. And I will announce your obituary on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. A wise man that dies in the backyard of a foolish, a foolish person. Isn't that like otakoko? That's what Yoruba will say. They'll say, yeah, takoko deepo. How can a wise man die in the backyard of a stupid person? Because the supposed wise man is actually not wise. A lot of you are not wise. Emotion rules over you. They will say, don't let emotion control you. It is just politics, Baba. It is not just politics. Families have been torn apart. Communities, villages have been destroyed by terrorists because of the corruption, incompetence of those who are supposed to keep you safe. Businesses have died. Families have been destroyed. And this is just the beginning. Somebody will tell you, don't get emotional. I don't even understand why these people are. And you also see some other lunatics who will tell you, one thing I know is that an Igbo man will never be president of this country. Igbo people need to go and learn this or that. And you are entertaining such. Really? Nigeria was supposed to be a country, right? A country that all of you will say is our country, right? But the criminal politicians have managed to sow the seed of division and hatred among all of you. Enough that some people believe that if these people are being destroyed, as long as we are not being destroyed, it's none of our business. They should fix up. That is what the criminal politicians have created. So you too should learn how to keep your grudges. If you see any of them, before you give any of your token, whatever, to anyone, check if they are not part of those who brought this calamity upon you. Those who have brought the criminals who are going to destroy your life, destroy your job, they've destroyed the economy. This is just the beginning. By the year 2027, they will do it again. The tribal this, tribal that. Somebody said, people have learned their lesson. Oh man, come on. They must have learned their lesson. Who told you that? People who supported and defended Bokuwari for 8 years switched over to Thiefnubu, and in 15 months, a lot of you are kind of missing Bokuwari already. And you think they've learned anything? No, they don't learn. So when you see them dying, let them die. Don't ever blame yourself for it. I'm a Christian. I cannot pay evil with evil. Then you will be destroyed by your foolishness from the evil you think you have outgrown. I've seen this happen many times. And I just thought I should tell you. In case if you listen to me, I know you don't have to listen to me though, right? Because if you listen to me, how do you think I will have people to use as an excuse? I mean, as an example, to teach others never to be so foolish and stupid and never to be a Nigerian who lied to himself or herself. I'm a child of God. Really? Even God cannot save you from what is coming. If you are not ready to save yourselves, saving yourself start from you understanding your environment, understanding the kind of people around you, and save yourself, possibly save your generations yet unborn. These ones will destroy those ones yet unborn. That's why we said if you don't stop them, if you don't kill them, they will kill you. If you don't kill what APC represents, they will kill you. It's just a matter of time. Talking about killing, here, somewhere in Zamfara, a very sad story, very, very sad story. You've heard about the atrocities of the Fulani terrorists in northern Nigeria and possibly in other parts of Nigeria as well. Something happened. There are communities, right, in northern Nigeria as we speak, communities who are supposed to be part of Nigeria, but they are not. They are called ungoverned areas. These are areas where people who are able to escape or run away have run away and left those places. But those who couldn't, they've submitted themselves to the whim and caprices of the Fulani terrorists and Boko Haram. But they are paying taxes to terrorists there. So something happened in Zamfara. The Nigerian army, they carried out a raid. For a fact, yeah? And this raid was carried out on Turuji and its ungoverned areas. So somehow, they said, Nigerian army killed Turuji's cows. They didn't kill Turuji. They didn't kill Bello Turuji's terrorist fighters. They killed three cows. Turuji became so angry. And he then said, everybody waited that area, all these communities, including the adjoining communities, they would all have to pay for what Nigerian army did to him. 300 million naira charges, or it will kill all of them. That's the announcement. He gave them a month to raise the money and pay him for Nigerian army killing his cows. Nigerian army couldn't go there to save them. And the people knows that Nigeria is not coming to save them. So they started raising the money. They raised over 87 million naira and handed it to Bello Turuji with the promise and pledge that they will pay the rest. Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us. Nigerian army won't do anything, of course. And Turuji was like, okay, I'll give you an extension. But something else happened too. This time, to a family that he kidnapped. He kidnapped Papa, kidnapped Mama, then come kidnap the son. While they were in their custody, demanding for ransom, Bello Turuji and his gang, I don't know, in their depraved souls and minds, they now gave this family one option to say, listen, you will still pay the ransom. I just thought that you deserve some punishment because we believe that you are one of those informants working for the Nigerian army. Informants working for the Nigerian army. Bello Turuji now gave them two options. One, I'm going to cut off your husband's hand. Just to let you know that don't ever be an informant to Nigerian army. Or you will need to sleep with your son in front of this your husband here. The choice is yours. And guess what happened? The mother had sex with the son. Then they still paid the ransom. Ransom of 15 million naira for being informant to Nigerian army. So the story was that when they got back home, his son couldn't stay in that house anymore. He had to leave. Then how do you think the mother who had to save our family under that circumstances. How do you think she's going to live with that experience for the trauma for the rest of her life? So when Bello Turiji now heard that Thiefnubu sent Patawali and Co. and Musa to Sokoto to go and look for him, he sent them back this message.
Shikenan su ‘yan moriki su adda jini su kuke magana, su kuma hudayen ba a magana su, sai ka ce turjiya aza masu haraji saboda sun yanke mai shanu, sun harbi kaftin ya halban mai shanu. To ku ji mutanen moriki na aka ni ƙasar ga, na aka ku ƙasar ga, ba a taɓa kawo soja daga Enugu ba ko Fatakol ya kashe muna ‘yan uwa don ku ji daɗi, ku kuma mu zura maku ido. Karnan Yahudawa ɗan luwaɗi ya ta buga maku takardu, kuma kacce sun je sun yi ɓanna, a faɗa mana abin da suka ci a watan 7 na rani, watan 6 da watan 2 aka kashe ɗan gashanu. Ga tudun Allah, kuma ba gidan wani an ka zo ba balle a ce suna kiwo ga tudu aka halbe. Ga ranar Allah, a faɗa mana wannan ƙiyayya da kake yi muna, ka zo ka faɗi ra'ayinka, ɗan shinkafa kai magana da shi yace ma gaban shi ya taɓa gani an hidda hanjin mutum. Kuma tun daga ran nan baka sake maimaita wagga magana ba, in ba da kake maƙiyan Allah ba. To duk ire-iren kuna nan Yahudawa, hada wani wai wanda shi ikirari yake musulmi ne, wai kuma faɗa mu da aya da ta halatta a ci naman doki. Mun ga wani wa'azi naka kana cewa ka ci naman doki, kana kiran ka musulmi kuma haka hito kai ka waɗi wagga magana ka ci naman doki. Ire-iren ku muke roƙo, Ubangiji Allah ya kare mu da ku dare da rana muke roƙo ne da ku. Duk kuma wani wanda ka gani, shugabanmu mai albarka Christopher Musa, ina kira gare ka da babban murya, don Allah ka taimaka mana Murtala Asada, ko da ba ka iya bashi wani mukami, ka bashi na shugaban ‘yan banga, don Allah da annabi ya shigo. Ka bashi ya shigo, sai ya gani, ko ba ka iya bashi wani mukami. Yanzu nan mukami ne ka so ka bashi wanda ya ci, ka dibi ministan sadarwa, Shek Ali Isa Fantami. Muna da bidiyo, ina da wa'azuzzukan shi inga yaka cewa duk wanda a cikin gwamnati, ɗagutu ne kafuri ne. Amma yanzu da an bashi ministan sadarwa yaushe marabin ka ji shi, kenan shi ma yanzu ya ɗaguta ya tabbata ya ridda kenan. To saboda haka muke gode ma Allah, Allah ka tabbata.
I'll wait for Ahmed to give you full interpretation, but let me tell you what he was saying there. Bello Turiji was reacting. That I heard that you are coming here to come and look for me. Minister, as well as Mr. Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff. All of you have no idea what you are up to or up against. Okay? In the name of Allah, this, Allah, that. We will conquer you and crush you. When you come for us, we will come for you. You have no idea that we are more than what you think we are. And when it comes to this, we are fighting for Allah. That's what he believes. That they are fighting for Allah. And Allah will protect them against all the enemies of Allah. Another nonsense that he kind of spewed there. He was responding to them that you can't do anything to me. He's right. To those who know the story of Turiji, Turiji is the creation of Patawale, your minister, Bello Matawale, which I love to call Patawale. It's a pandemic, which is your own Issa Patantami. Then another one there. He kept mentioning their name, including Bukati, the journalist or so that reported this story I just told you now. Allah, if I grab you, like nobody will recognize you. You can't touch us, you can't do this. But this story of Bello Turiji will never be full or complete without mentioning Patawale. They actually harmed them, empowered them, according to this affair.
So shi don komi ba sai don Allah. Don haka in kalubale kuke son ku kamda na Murtala Bello. Murtala Bello ya ce mai gidanku ya sai ma yan ta'adda motoci ya basu. Daga cikin waɗanda ya ba motoci akwai wannan Halilu Sububu. Ministan tsaro na yanzu ya sai mai mota sabuwa ya bashi. ba shi aka ce ma wanke dan Kano ba akwai Ada Aleru ministan tsaro na yanzu ya sai mai mota ya bashi akwai Bello Turji ministan tsaro na yanzu ya sai mai mota ya bashi
fara shawara na san ya siyo mota wajen kwara 34 ya raba ma yan ta'adda shugabanni a Zamfara wanda shi Halilun da aka ce na siyo mota gwamnan Zamfara ya bashi mota Hilux sabuwa 2019 model ba tsohuwa ba irin su Ado Aleru an ba su ai ina wurin yan sanda an ba Bello Turji
a su kirki mutanen kirki suna neman Hilux ga yan sanda suna neman Hilux ba a basu ba ga sojoji suna neman Hilux ba a basu ba ga civil defense suna neman Hilux ba a basu ba sai a ɗauki Hilux sababbi da kuɗin mu a zo a saya ma barayi a basu
don Allah in yace ya aza kuɗi a bashi labarin su Turji ba ran ma mutane na yi ba bai hi kowa sanin labarin su ba saboda haka wallahi ƙaryata mu abinda muka cewa ya Allah kana gani ga wasu mutane nan suna wasa da hankalin mutane a cikin harkar tsaro ya Allah duk inda suke Allah ka tona musu asiri Allah jami'an tsaro masu yi da gaske don a samu nasara ya Allah ka taimake su ya Allah waɗannan ƴan ta'adda Allah ka yi muna maganin su wai ba ku mamakin iskancin da Bello Turji kai tsakaninku da Allah jahili irin Bello Turji wai a ce wai ya gagari gwamnatin Najeriya wallahi kai ka san ƙaryata magana Bello Turji ya gagari gwamnatin Najeriya magana banza ce duk wayar da kake yanzu ni Murtala Bello Asada ko test ka tura min wallahi sai ya zo ga jami'an tsaro in ka kira ni ana biye da duk wayar da nake wai a ce Bello Turji zai fito yayi live yayi jawabai ko yau din nan sai da ya hidda jawabai
kashe mu za ku komi za ku iya yi muna wallahi ba za mu ba wannan aikin ba sai dai in
yana maganganu masu nauyi amma missa saboda yana da uwa bakin murhu abinda Bahaushe ka ce mai uwa bakin murhu bai cin togaya ya Allah ka bare ton ya Allah ka bare ton ya Allah ka jicce su ya Allah wanda sun ka zalunce mu Allah ka sani baka kwana sun ci amanan mu Allah ka kare su ya Allah duk wanda adda hannu cikin wannan abin ya Allah ka san shi baka kwana ya Allah ka kare shi inda bai doruwa akwai wata magana saboda haka wallahi Murtala
Nigeria to finish. And I will continue to remind you all that Nigeria is done for. Normally, a lot of people, some people will say, if they want to get him, they will get him any day, anytime. Is that what you tell yourself, right? In 2019, Bello Patawale, your Minister of Defense, actually spent over 1.1 billion naira in making that monster. But they were giving them Oshara, brand new Hilux trucks, because they've repented. That was the first time. It was Patawale who said, it is not only Boko Haram that are repenting, even Fulani terrorists are repenting. So Bello Turji was so empowered because of the mineral resources in Zamfara, that the criminal politicians of northern Nigeria have now turned to their personal properties. They need army to protect the illegal minings in northern Nigeria. That was where Bello Turji came in. How could the state governor use the state resources to empower thugs, all because you want to be carrying out illegal mining for your own personal gain? Got them guns, vehicles, and give them protection from any arrest or whatsoever. Now, Bello Turji has his own controlled minds. And they have international backing now. They now have people who exchange gold for guns, other mineral resources for weapons. It is just like a normal day in this part of northern Nigeria. And when you hear pa, 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 it's because rivals are clashing. Politicians, Bello, Patawale, that should be in jail for treason, is the Minister of Defense in Nigeria. Oh man, my heart sinks. Because you see, the Nigerian army, who are also culprits in all of this, their own chief of defense staff, who knows, I mean, a professional soldier is watching some ragtag thugs make mincemeal of them because politicians won't let them go after them. Here is your chief of defense staff. We will get him. Don't worry, we will get him. Madman.
Afternoon. Today, since morning, we've been having a series of meetings with all stakeholders as it affects security in our dear country, Nigeria. We're all aware that we have security challenges almost all over the country, but we saw the need to continue to deliberate, to collaborate, to cooperate together in order to address these challenges. In line with the concept of my operations, which is people-centric, we want to inform Nigerians on what it is that is being done to address the security situation. So many successes have been achieved, but yet there's still work to be done. We're not where we want to be, but we're heading there and we're on the right path. I want to use this medium to thank all our troops and all Nigerians for their perseverance, for their commitment, for their sacrifice. We know that security situation is not as expected, but we want to call on all of us that this is the time that we need to come together as one people, as one country, in order to tackle the menace of banditry, of terrorism, of cultism, of armed robbery, sea piracy, pipeline vandalism, and all acts of criminality. Together, we shall succeed. That I can assure you. All members of the armed forces and security forces are determined to address these security challenges. Now they seem unsurmountable, but I assure you that within the shortest possible time, this will also pass by. So I want to thank you for your cooperation, especially members of the media, for being steadfast in this drive. Once again, thank you very much. We will have a general overview of all our operations and what is being done, and after which we'll have a question and answer session. Thank you very much. School safe school program. Basically, schools have been on holidays, and they're just about returning now. So efforts have been made to ensure that we provide necessary security in all the schools. Those ones that are isolated, actions are being taken to ensure that either they are placed together where security could be provided, because we have so many thousands of schools scattered all over. So efforts have been made to make sure that we position them in such a way that troops will be able to respond in case there are any attacks or threats to the lives of the pupils in this school. So it's an ongoing operation. And again, to jump into what we mentioned about the visit to Sokoto, ideally we have overviewed the entire operation and realized that we need to harmonize our operations together. If you notice, we have Operation Hadarin Daji and Operation White Stroke, both within the Northwest region. We have seen the need for us to harmonize those operations into one operation like we did in the Northeast, where we have Operation Hat and Kai. The same thing is being done now for the Northwest operation. We have one unified operation. It's going to be called Operation Fansan Yama. Fansan Yama, for those of us that know, it's securing the West. Now, the intention is to ensure that we synergize all our efforts in addressing the security challenges in the Northwest. It's been their tradition for the bandits to be able to flow between the states within them. So now what we're doing is that since we're harmonizing the whole operation, they will come under one commander. And then the commander will be able to utilize all the equipment and troops together to ensure that we address this critically. And I think that's the best solution we have for it. And I can assure you, all the assets that is required to do that will be done. The intention of the bandits is to just show that they are present. It is acts of criminality, and that's why we're appealing to Nigerians not to provide any support. If you remember the last time we had this issue where our APC was, the MRAP was bogged down and the terrorists came, it was some people that called them and told them that the troops were having issues with their vehicle and they should come around, and they came in mass. That's what exactly happened. And that's why we're appealing to individuals. If you think these guys are on your side, they're a bunch of deranged individuals that have no allegiance to anybody. Today you think you are with them, tomorrow they are coming after you. It's just like training monsters. When you train monsters, when they grow up, they definitely will be the next victim. So we appeal to Nigerians not to allow themselves to be cowed. And like it is also said, we also appeal that for us to maintain security, the armed forces and security agencies cannot be everywhere. We will try as much as possible to be there, but we're going to build the capacity of the locals to be able to defend themselves for a while before the military will come in. That we have adopted in the Northeast with the civilian JTF, with the hybrid forces, and it has worked. We're also trying to do the same thing. We're working with the state government. We're not working in isolation. We know the relevance of the communities. We know the relevance of the state governments. So we're working as a team to ensure that we address these issues together. And the issue of 2G, like I said, it's just a deranged individual that feels power, but I can bet you that it's just a matter of time. A matter of time, we're going to get this, and I can assure you, within the shortest possible time, we're going to address that issue on paying. On the issue of payment, that is what they live on, and it shows you the desperation they are in. One, even when they get the money, they don't have a way to use it. Two, is that the money they're getting, they know it's blood money. And that is why we all must come together to work with members of the armed forces and security agencies to deny them the ability to move freely within our.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make a.
But ẹni tá a rí pé tó ti pa fóònù tá a mọ iná náà tú ẹ mo dẹ̀ sọ pé káwọn ọlọ́pàá ṣe best infestation ní orí ẹ ẹni tó bá ṣe ọlọ́pàá ṣe kí ni àfọwọ́ òfin mu ìkọ́tẹ́mi.
Did you see that your military chief swallowing his own saliva when he's talking about Bello Turji? The supposed service chief, the chief of defense staff for the biggest or largest concentration of black people on earth, Nigeria, talking about Bello Turji desperate, blood money. There's nowhere to spend the money. And other nonsense, right? Nigeria tita, and I'm actually being nice. Nigeria tita, wow, bibanga, nice, Nigeria ti blue, and a lot of you are living off on your delulu and delusion. Nigeria is gone, far, gone. And I hope you don't become a victim before you get to realize that. Security. You're on your own. Because if not, you are talking about Zamfara. Have you seen that of Ondo? The level of terrorism of Fulanis in Ondo, a southwest Yoruba state.
Ṣé báyìí o. Ṣé báyìí o. À ń kígbe láti ẹjọ́ yìí pé àwọn Fúlàní darandaran pé wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn wa. Bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bí mélòó kan báyìí, a kámẹ́rà wípé wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn wa. Wípé wọ́n pa wá, wọ́n dá àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́nà, wọ́n pa wọ́n. Ṣé ti rí báyìí? Ìkan nínú àwọn èèyàn wa lélẹ́yìí o. méjì ni wọ́n o méjì ìkan bá àti rọ̀ṣẹ́ rí ẹnìkan lọ sí hospital obìnrin eléyìí o ṣe rí pé ó ń lọ lé ó ń lọ ṣe rí bí wọ́n ti yìnbọn sí ṣe rí ẹ wo ọrùn ni wọ́n ti yìnbọn sí àwọn Fúlàní darandaran ṣe rí báyìí ṣe rí bọ́n ṣe yìnbọn sí wọ́n ti pa bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe wálé ṣe léléyìí o bọ́n ṣe ń pa àwọn èèyàn wálé lé iṣẹ́ ti rí báyìí pé èèyàn ń lọ gbóró pé ó ń lọ lé wọ́n dá wọn lọ́nà àwọn méjì náà yìnbọn sí o ẹnìkan yòókù àìrọ̀ṣẹ́ ẹnìyẹn lọ bóyá kú bóyá ààyè àti mọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ẹni báyìí iṣẹ́ ti rí nínú gbó náà pa sí nínú gbó ṣe rí báyìí aṣọ ọlọ́jọ́ yẹ bọ́n ṣe pa wá léléyìí o bọ́n ṣe ń pa wá tó ń pa àwọn èèyàn wá léléyìí akígbe a lè máa sọ ká lọ oko ṣe ti rí báyìí ṣe rí kọ́lọ́n kó ṣàánú wa o ṣe ti rí bọ́n ṣe ń pa àwọn èèyàn bọ́n ṣe ń pa wọ́n ní o ṣe ti rí lè báyìí ṣe ti rí ọrùn náà ti yìnbọn sí o ó ní o ó ní ó ní ó ní ó ní o ó ní o ó ní o àmọ́ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe mọ́ báyìí o kò yé wa mọ́ o kò yé wa mọ́ rárá àmọ́ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe mọ́ ní ìlú Ọbátẹ̀dó ní Ìgbàtòrò Familúgbà ní ìlú Ọbátẹ̀dó ní Ìgbàtòrò Familúgbà lójú ọ̀nà wọ́n ṣe ń dá àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́nà ní o àwọn Fúlàní darandaran wọ́n á kìdínápù wọ́n á pa àwọn èèyàn wa bọ́n ṣe ń kìdínápù àwọn èèyàn wa bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ń pa wọ́n ṣe ti rí báyìí ní Ìgbàtòrò Familúgbà l'Ondo State ṣe rí lọ́nà oko pé kéèyàn lọ sóko ṣe rí báyìí ṣe rí kọ́ lọ́n kó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o ṣe rí báyìí o ẹ rí báyìí o ṣe rí a ti kékékékékékékéké a kígbe a pariwo títí ṣé wọ́n fi wálẹ̀ o wọ́n fi wálẹ̀ o àmọ́ nǹkan tá a tún fẹ́ ṣe o àmọ́ o ṣe rí báyìí ẹrù tí wọ́n kó lọ ní ṣe rí bọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹrù wọn gbogbo oúnjẹ tó ń kó lọ ẹrù tí wọ́n dì lọlé ṣe rí bọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ owó tó kó síbẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n ti kó ṣe rí bọ́n ṣe ya àpò ṣe rí gèlè tó rí wé sórí ní ṣe ti rí ó ń lọlé ní o ó ń lọlé ṣe rí gbogbo aṣọ ní ẹ wò bọ́n ṣe da gbogbo ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ pátápátá gbogbo bíbélì ẹ̀ lélẹ́yìí o ṣe rí bá a ṣe ń kígbe lélẹ́yìí o ó pẹ́ ta ti ń kígbe ó pẹ́ ta ti ń kígbe o ó pẹ́ ta ti ń kígbe o ó pẹ́ ta ti ń kígbe ó pẹ́ ta ti ń kígbe ó pẹ́ ta ti ń kígbe a kígbe títí wọn kò sí nǹkan tó ń ríṣẹ́ sí o kò sí nǹkan tó ń ríṣẹ́ sí o kò sí nǹkan tó ń ríṣẹ́ sí ẹwọ ẹrù tọmọlọmọ tó ń dì lọlé ní o ọlọ́kadà tó gbé wọ́n yìnbọn sẹ́niyẹ àjìjàdó ẹniyẹ àti gbẹ́niyẹ lọ sọ́sítà báyìí bóyá kú bóyá yè àti mọ̀ o ẹni tó gbé sẹ́yìn òun nìyẹn o wọ́n ti pàdánù o wọ́n ti pàdánù àwọn yòókù ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ Ọlọ́run ṣé ti rí o ṣé rí báyìí o àti kékékékéké ṣé ti rí o ṣé rí o ṣé ti rí o ó bà wá lẹ́rù báyìí o ẹ ṣé o ní Ìgbàtòrò Familúgbà l'Ọbátẹ̀dó l'Ondo State wọ́n ti pa wọ́n tán o nínú oko ṣe ní wọ́n bẹ̀ sí ní ṣe bó ṣe wù wọ́n o wọ́n ṣe àwọn Fúlàní darandaran àwọn Fúlàní ni wọ́n o darandaran wọ́n ti pa wọ́n tán o.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise.
It's unfortunate, isn't it? Because when I tell people that when you see Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, the bad idiots, the bad stats, and they say they are angry and then they are fighting for Yoruba, whenever they say they are defending Thiefnubu, they don't give a damn about Yoruba or anything. These are a bunch of, what do you call it, inbreds, so to say, unfit for any human existence, that have been zombied, or politically zombied by APC. They killed Yorubas in Yoruba land. They got away with it. Ronukus are not interested in anything Yoruba per se. They are more interested in everything that has to do with APC. And if you are a Yoruba person, and you are reading from the Ronukus, they want you to hate and hate people who have nothing to do with you. And they want you to look away from those who are actually going to take your life or take the life of your loved ones. If I tell you they don't represent Yoruba, you should believe me. There will never be any rage from the Ronukus when they see, that won't even trigger them. If killing 3 Yoruba Obas in a space of 5 days by the Fulani terrorists that Baba Obalade crowned kings in Yoruba land, they were slaughtered like, oh my God, I don't know how to describe it. They are slaughtered like nothing. They never got angry. But when you look at them and when you look into their eyes, when they are so mad because of Igbo this, Igbo that, and you are like, this must be lunacy. This can't be ordinary. This is madness. I have seen it. And it breaks out when you see the supposed normal Yorubas falling the prey of these deceitful criminals called the Ronukus of Yoruba land, who want you to hate the wrong people. It is that sad. The havoc that these terrorists are wreaking across Nigeria and getting away with should be enough for those who are saying enough to say, can't we just break up this contraption? Break up this shithole and save lives. Please. People are not allowed to defend themselves. And people have been subjected. It's like we are at the mercy of our killers. As they are killing and slaughtering people up north, they are doing the same thing down south. Ask Enugu people. Ask Ebonyi people. Ask Ogun people. Ask us all around, those who have fallen to the bullets of the Fulani terrorists. But yet, they want your rage directed at a tribal this, tribal that. It breaks hearts, okay? Again, talking about the atrocities of a terrorist. Do you know that it is not just the Fulanis that are the terrorists in Nigeria? There are uniformed terrorists too, like the Nigerian army. The one that told you earlier that they have been everything. They have been everything to make sure that the operation this, operation that, operation this, operation that. But yet, the terrorists continue to grow stronger and stronger. And our victims our people continue to become victims every now and then. We are at the mercy of our killers. We don't even have the right to defend ourselves before we are labeled terrorists, right? So talking about the uniformed terrorists, I need somebody, Prince Jejeman, who can type fast. I need somebody to please go into that comment section, especially on YouTube. I need you to interpret the experience of this 14-year-old girl that got assaulted by the Nigerian army, a Nigerian soldier in Imo State.
Because I will also protect the Weak International Foundation, the human rights organization. When I want to okay, Jackia, why because Ogo for I police brutality in the Madana High water chair. Oh, no, Laura, I never go to one in the Tiger Base Marie, Beha Chotara dear, a whole dear, one Yakuka. Koga until at the end of the day, the Tiger Base are having a arrest. Mechazia, how what the woman is compensation. Now, Oberen one or Kwanga Ubua. The same thing made that woman, Hamekuri Oberen one. Sadamachoko Jiro Akia, Kora, and Pompem, Utiashine. Now have again. We should work week and the Madman.
I am Dominic Amarachi.
Therefore,
14 years.
What get him?
Oh, I'm on Friday, 6th of this month. And I am a man, they Pagana Gate.
By what time? By what time?
Around that kind 4-5. Now they Pagana Gate. So my be a pay protector. Then be as in a room. As if you don't open this gate, I'll kill. So my president, him I can't say, but Daniel amamde gbara m ya ma gbagoro ya then mgba nka ha bịa werezie mob na-apịa m na-akwụ m ya
gịnị ka ha kụrụ gị gịnị ka na gịnị ka
oshishi mob
oshishi
na-agbazi maka ntị onye ke na-akwụ m oshishi mob onye ke na-agba maka
ha dị ndị polisi ole
ha buru ibe richara 7
okay
so mgbe kọchaziri m ha kpọrọ ha jiri m ejiri jema m n'ime moto ma m rụzi na moto wee ihe ịrụ ọdụnụ nga ahụ ebe kwọọ m n'azụ
onye mere iji agaga ka ihe ukwu gbajiri gị kwa okay
ma nka mebati n'obi m onye kratụpụ m ndị nwa chairman village anya bịa na-ajụ ha maka gịnị ka eji jiri nwa ma a na-ahụ ha nne na nna ha hapịa autonomous dị ha kpụmazie ya ihe chibe n'ime moto na ihe bụrụ anyị gama tiger base ebe ahụ dị ma anyị nọzi nke ahụ ha gbasi ndị statement m na-ekwu ama m ihe dị so mgbe anyị mechara n'abalị ha bịa jibaga m na seneshi tutu ha kpụtazie m ihe zuru ezu kpụta m na ọfisi then mgbe ahụ anyị mechara ha sị o nwere ndị bịara ka ha belọ m ekpe ha si aga hapụ m until ha hụ dadi ọmụrụ
gịnị mere gị n'anya ihe ọsọ ihe akọrọ gị mepegoro anya ahụ ọfụma ga-ekwe gị mepete ya nsụmọ ihe ọsọ ihe akọrọ gị akọkọ ya gịnị meziri leta gịnị meziri gị after that
o onye dadi bịa die ọ dị ka ọwụ nwanne hope
onye ahụ abịazịa ebe lụọ gị ole ndị polisi nwere ndị nụrụ aha ha
o soja na Chukwuemeka
ka a na-akpọ o soja na Chukwuemeka ha si Tiger Base imebe bụ Tiger Base dị shọ nọ Tiger Base ka akpọ gị gaa Tiger Base ka akpọ gị gaa mami biko o nwere unu gara hospital o nwere anything any evidence to prove
I gara hospital all specialist hospital ka ishi na here wo doctor's report I wetere na
doctor's report Imo State Specialist Hospital Owerri to whom it were concerned medical report of assault Dominic Amarachi 14 years female hospital numbers The above named 14 years old girl was brought to our facility with a history of soft tissue injuries on the 6th of September 2024. She was said to have sustained the serious injuries, soft tissue injuries, while incarcerated in the custody of the Nigerian police force. On presentation, she was in painful distress with generalized hematoma and hyperemia because the doctor but ihe ọ na-akọwa nga ahụ na akụchara nwa aka n'ukwu akụpịara ukwu. She is placed on non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs na ụmụnne. Thank you, Dr. Okechukwu. Here the stamp from the Imo State Specialist Hospital. Mommy, have you done anything?
Ihe mere ọwụkwa ịga treat chani ya ihe niile na ya before no mbe mana health first ọ ga na dị ndụ before aga chọwa ihe ndị ọzọ.
So police are drop who notice see digi
chọrọ notice
they just invaded the house by 4 a.m. Bidoko wa nwatakịrị ihe by 4 a.m. No notice.
Nothing with nwa na-akpọ Daniel ọnwa Tebeshi Abia State.
Daniel ahụ onye polisi.
Onye polisi ọwa nwanne di m. Nwanne di m ndeke.
Ya kpọ ha bịa no.
Aya ọ sị na onye kpọ ha bịa because nwa nwaanyị hụrụ Daniel ahụ. Daniel ahụ na-ajụ ebe key moto dadi ya nọ na documents ala. Ihe nwa ha n'ụlọ turn upside down kparịcha everything onwe ihe ọwụla nọ nga ahụ. No, in order.
Without search warrant.
Without anything, no way how la hajini one. If no one month akre bia sekpuru ala riwa ha biko ha gbakwara ya kanti. Si ya na ọrịa ha biko na ha ga-akpọrọ kwe. Lama.
Ọ dị ma olotu ahụ dị gị ugbu a ka na egbu gị mgbu.
Ke mo no ogu dare do sa fonye gị nsogbu ya anya hụ sori ya na azụ kema nga katama akpọrọ ya n'azụ onye nọ sinsi ka m chọrọzie ndị nwere ike ịgbatara anya atụtọ.
Ọ dị mma nsogbu anọ Commissioner for Police ga-anụ nka ụwa niile ga-ahụkwanụ nka then Chukwuemeka na o soja ha ga-anụkwa ụda ya
just when lilanya. Now this case, we are not going to allow you to slide like that.
Thank you. So the police from the Tiger base, there is an illegal police outpost put together by Hopeless Uzodingba. They call them the Tiger base. She is lucky. A young girl who got brutalized by the supposed Nigerian police, right? Who invaded their home very early in the morning, took her to their base, right? Tortured her, beat her up, and without any real allegations, so to say. Tiger Base in Owerri is a place where if you go to, you may never come back alive. And it's been operated as an abattoir for killing those they suspected as Hopeless Uzodingba's political enemies or their family members. That happened and still happening. So yeah, we decided to help them. I mean, I decided to kind of bring that forth as well and show the rest of the world what life is like in that contraption where everyone just seems to have swallowed this evil thing, right? That just killed the humanity in them. Like you use political office, you use political power to what? To help the vulnerable. That's why you are in political offices, not in Nigeria. It is actually to snuff life out of the supposed people, the same people they are supposed to be protecting. We're talking about life again, right? Yesterday, we all saw the report of the flooding that ravaged Maiduguri. Oh, I did a little bit of a piece on that. There are more information that have now emerged. Still talking about the corruption, negligence, selfishness of these roads that later cost lives. Last year, Borno State received, from what I have gathered, they received over 800 million naira as ecological fund. Ecological fund is the fund they give to some of these states that are prone to any sort of what they call the natural disaster, preventable natural disasters. That has to do with the ecology or ecosystem, you know, right? Over 800 million naira went to Borno State to prevent what happened yesterday, 2 days ago and yesterday. But the money gone. And not just that. When Bokwari became your president in 2015, like they established, like, Yaradua established what at the time called the NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission, to placate the disgruntled and angry Niger Deltans who resulted into militancy. So to say, listen, apart from your state collecting allocation every month, maybe if we start a commission that will kind of deal with, development generally, like human development, like education, healthcare, we'll give them special money to build all these things. So they established NDDC. Unfortunately, that became a conduit pipe for the politicians of the Niger Delta. Okay? So when Bokwari became your president, he established similar thing in Borno State, in the Northeast. He called it Northeast Development Commission, NEDC. It was a conduit pipe. When Thiefnubu came in, they said, this NEDC, they actually had a budget of about 150 billion. I'm talking about a budget that is even bigger than some states' budgets in Nigeria. So they got over 100 billion naira last year. The money disappeared. The money was meant to kind of go fix any form of, ecological disaster, this and that could be prevented, preventable ones. They had a dam, which they don't have anymore. So they had a dam, and it's called the Allow Dam. Allow Dam that was supposed to have been used or developed, even with that money, and build irrigation system that could probably reclaim some of the deserts in that Borno, another part of northern Nigeria. The money gone. The state deputy governor this year, I'm talking about, the deputy governor was actually there, sometimes in June. 2024, he went to that same dam, and he came back with a report where he said everything was fine. Everything was fine. Until everything wasn't. So 2 days ago, the already weak, dilapidated structure around the dam caved in. And afterward, it released tons, millions of tons. Is it tons? Do you use ton? I don't know. No, not tons. Cubic million of water. Releasing to the metropolis that today, children are missing, washed up by the flood. Aged are missing. Some of those people who were like sick, hospitalized people are missing. They have no idea of how many people died in Maiduguri's flood. But this is just a bit of a cap on it. When Shitty Man went there yesterday, how many of you remember last night when I said they will go soon they share rice now? Because I was expecting the NEMA and other federal rescue agencies to be in Borno State, even the Borno State government as well. I was expecting to see some rescue missions, support system, and all of that stuff, flooding in, like going straight into Borno State. I didn't see any. Shitty Man went there yesterday and he promised them that story about this Lord who will give you 50 trucks of rice. You say the economy is in tatters, they offer you rice. You say there is insecurity, they give you rice. You say there is unemployment, they offer you rice. Whatever it is that you think you are passing through, once you speak about it or you speak out about it, they go ask you, do you want rice? Because the APC, Egbekegbe, who has come to the Declan Rice right now, rice, 50 trucks of rice is on their way to Borno State. I haven't seen one, but he promised them that yesterday when he went to the palace of the Shehu of Borno. I like this truck because somehow the truck can drive on the dry land, and it seems it can also like a sail, like a boat on the way to the Shehu's house yesterday. Shitty Man, ladies and gentlemen.
Refugees Commission and the DG NEMA, our leadership of the security apparatuses, our political leadership. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
The last part of that video is Maiduguri prison, where we believe that the commanders of Boko Haram arrested and imprisoned there also escaped because the flood opened the gates of prison. And nobody is even looking for them as we speak. Okay? So when I see the trucks going to Borno State, 50 truck of rice, I would share that with you too. But he promised them that yesterday. He said, oh, we'll give you rice, 50 trucks. Rice. Now go chop rice. Yeah. We'll chop rice. Thank you, sir. Very, very unfortunate people. Polapenga. I got the news that some of our people got returned back from UAE yesterday. I do not know if you are aware of this, but 400 people got deported from Dubai, UAE is precise, the country. And I want to believe that these are those who either returned voluntarily, or those who are like they've had enough, or those who had some visa problems, or other stuff. 400. 310 men and 90 women returned back to the contraption yesterday from UAE. Briefly. So I to you. And finally, here, no, not finally though, right? Here is a special message from a pensioner to Thiefnubu, NLC, and the rest of them. Life hard. And some of these, our older people, they probably didn't really plan for this. That's why I feel sorry for some of you who are still young right now defending this contraption. I don't know how you're going to live your old age when you will realize that to serve Nigeria is not by force. It's actually a thing. To save yourself from this sort of poor old age. When you finally retire, how do you give all your youth to a country only for you to live the rest of your life in penury? Only in Nigeria.
I never wished I would address the press on the matter before us, but there's nothing we can do. I remember the words of Martin Luther when he said, a man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice. He said, a man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand for that which is true. And therefore, people should speak the truth. To do otherwise is cowardice. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the struggle for the downtrodden pensioners of First Bank started far back as 2008. We applied every non-industrial relation practice in collective bargaining, but there has been no respect and or positive response from the management of First Bank. Firstly, we requested the bank to tell us how much is the value of our pension fund kept as security. Although the case is before the court now, we got judgment that yes, if you are a customer to the bank, you deserve the right to know how much your amount is, your balance is, and where it is kept. They have not done that to us. The case is before the bank, so we will not go into details. We have had several calls to call them for a meeting, but they have refused. For the avoidance of doubt, it is important to know that efforts made by our good selves, including the intervention of the Federal Ministry of Labor, the National Union of Pensioners, headquarters here in Abuja, even the Nigerian Labour Congress, yet First Bank has remained adamant. The continued refusal of the First Bank management to respect agreements led us to picketing in our Ibadan and Kaduna main branches in 2016. Unfortunately, and shamelessly too, the bank, in a show of ignorance to workers' rights, took us to court, asking the court to restrain us from picketing And the court gave judgment and said, well, the industrial court, that workers have the right to protest. They went to take an appeal and ran away since 2016. For the past 15 years, you are aware of the labor laws, the law that every 5 years pension must be reviewed. For over 15 years now, First Bank have not reviewed her pensions. We have made efforts to request them for a roundtable discussion. To that effect, they have constantly refused. Most of us work in the bank for over 30, 35 years. And it's just like the case of throwing away the baby and the water, or refusing to look at the geese that lays the golden eggs. It is sad to say that the poor condition which the First Bank pensioners have been treated has caused untimely death to so many of us. Unfortunately, people will die, yes, but there are some ill health sicknesses that should, under normal circumstances, be taken care of. 15,000 naira per month. What can you do? You can't buy my BP drugs or sugar drugs. You cannot. It cannot even take me from my village or from my house to the town where pharmacies are. That's the pains we are going through. In 2018, the pensioners again picketed Kumasi House here in the central area, and our Marina branch, also at Ibadan branch. And a memorandum of understanding was signed, but they have flagrantly rejected or refused to obey that understanding. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it will shock you to know that First Bank pensioners are the least pension workers today in the financial sector. Can you imagine, like I said, we are paid pension from 4,500 per month, 8,000 per month, some 15,000. I receive a pension of 16,000 per month. Those who grow up to the rank of deputy general managers or general managers collect as low as 60,000 per month. Considering the economic situation in Nigeria today, what can that fit a family? Assuming just my wife and I, how much is a mudu of rice today? How much is whatever? So that's it. Today we call on the management of First Bank to resume negotiation. That's the purpose of our gathering here. We want to ask management to resume negotiation. It will interest you to know that the last time we met with them was in September last year. And they said they were doing something, that they will come up with a solution by December last year. Up to now, we have not been able to see it. We have written several letters asking them for a meeting. In fact, in December, they never wrote us until 2 weeks ago, after many letters, and after the threat to picketing before they wrote us. We are now asking for...
But ẹni tá a rí pé tó ti pa fóònù tá a mọ iná náà tú ẹ mo dẹ̀ sọ pé káwọn ọlọ́pàá ṣe best infestation ní orí ẹ ẹni tó bá ṣe ọlọ́pàá ṣe kí ni àfọwọ́ òfin mu.
I hope they do the best infestation, because I can't imagine as a pensioner living, having somebody said it, the Americans call it the 401k. Somebody else is probably milking your 401k, your pension, and they just want you to die. Just die, Georgia, so that we don't have to pay you again. So when you look at those who are suffering from the economic hardship in Nigeria, think about the pensioners too. Those ones works for pension for the private sector, no doubt. You need to go and see those who are pensioners from local government, who work for government. It's going to be a different story. Sorry, I'm just trying to do everything short now because my time is almost up. So I have one more, this time from Lagos. Now it's the story of demolition. I like putting it in the diary. Wahab, doing what he's always doing, giving us this picture of a Lagos that they want to build, but no, I am actually interested in the state of that Lagos. That demolition and all of that alone hasn't really changed. So let's go to Lagos and see where Wahab is doing what he knows how to do best. Demolish for camera.
Thank you. That's it. Another one.
Hello. Hello. Oh, well, how you doing?
Madam, if you have anything inside that place, pack it. We are breaking this thing down today.
No.
Now, this thing is going down.
Thank you, sir.
The great youth of Nigeria. Great. 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 Greatest,
Yo, great. On that note, I'm going to draw my own curtains, right? And then open the line. For those who might want to add or say one or two things as well. Thank you so much for spending your evening with me again. Now, if you really have to go, you know what to do. Do not leave without paying your own offering. Like the broadcast, that's all you need to do. But if you still want to be with us for the next hour, then you probably will need to grab your phone. If not, then sit back and enjoy the next or the last chapter of this chat tonight. So I'm going to take a quick break. And when I come back, I'll take calls. Thank you. I think I have my first caller on the line, if they are still there. Hello.
Yes. Hello, Maiyegun Baba.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. And you? And welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back from the sick bed.
You know now, so I'm getting better day by day. And yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you.
Yes, we really miss you.
I miss you
Even
too. No idea.
I started saying, is that these people have gotten this man? Because you have really destroyed some of their work, their evil work. So maybe because they never sleep. You know, when you are fighting, your enemy never sleep and you never sleep.
Yes,
so that Nigerians are sleeping. Maiyegun, I must thank you very much. And I want to beg you something. Please, can I have we have been saying all the evils they are doing.
Yes.
And a lot of our brothers have been listening to us, knowing that we are participating, we are telling, we are saying what these people are doing. But sometimes we never give them some solution. Because if you tell people what is the problem, you should provide some solution to them. And that solution that I know that you never have the time for it.
No, don't say that. No, take that back.
No.
I give solution every day here. Okay?
No.
I don't have time.
You don't understand. No, not you. Listen,
not me.
Not you. No, the situation.
I'm not
The situation
them,
never.
but yeah, go on.
The situation never warrants warrant them or warrant the people listening to do something on their own self.
That
Because
is theirs, not me. Or not
yes,
us.
now that,
I'll say, but go on.
that's what I'm saying. Because if you are telling people this is what, and they have never even thought about what you are telling them to even change, they can never change.
That is not on
So
us.
out on it, so they can never. So I want to use this opportunity to tell all our listeners, our brothers, if you're in Nigeria, wherever you are in the world, and you are at the age of 20, going to 40, please, if your parents is alive, they are anywhere in Nigeria. After you listen to what I'm going to say, use your phone and call them. Please ask your parents that is good. They are getting to their grave now. Ask them, please, is this society, this evil society they are trying to live for you people? Ask them this question. Even if your father is a president, whatever your father is, ask your father and your mother, is it this wicked society?
You want to leave us
is it this wicked society that you know that your father is part of the evil they have been doing to the people? Now, ask them. If they tell you, yes. Now, let me come to my message to all Nigerians, wherever you are. Please, ask yourself, wherever you are sitting down in your closet, that what we are fighting for, does it really worth it? Does it really worth killing somebody to survive? Making unaliving people to survive? That's Nigeria has turned to survival of the fittest. You must oppress somebody to eat. You must operate whichever way you are doing it, whether you are importing fake drug, whatever you have been doing, or defrauding people, or getting
cheating, corruption, all these things actually affect some other people, their lives.
Their lives. Whatever you are doing, negligence of duty, you will be there, you are not there. Whatever you ask yourself, sit down, ask yourself, does it really worth it? What are you doing? So the Nigerians want to prove to me that we can never live in peace. We can never live in peace. Everybody wants somebody to suppress. And tomorrow you will go to church. They tell you that one God somewhere will forgive you with all this thing. Please, you ask yourself, if I am a God and what is happening in my own eye, will I forgive these people? Because they have these our brothers that call them so-called pastors and this thing. They have been deceiving you. There's no miracle nowhere. If you are sick, go to the hospital. That is the people God giving power to treat you. Then the people, the so-called police and army, I want to ask you people, is it the country that you swear an oath that you will serve and protect your people? Is it what you swear an oath?
Right?
Are you doing what you are doing right? You policeman that will go to road and kill somebody and say that is a standard discharge, and you start using paper to cover up, ask yourself, does it really what I'm doing? And at the end of the day, you have kids and you leave it in this evil world. What do you expect? What goes around comes around. Look at our people. Now, politicians have turned all of us to become tribalistic people. And you people, you every day, every Sunday and every Friday, you will go to mosque, you go to church and say you are praying to God. Ask yourself, this God you are praying, do you think he will forgive you with all this kind of evil you are doing? Please, I want to ask all Nigerians.
Right? It's like somebody who is inherently evil, but always believes that God will forgive him if he says, God, please forgive me. Do you really think you deserve to be forgiven with your contribution to the evil of this world?
Evil of this world. This our so-called pastors and all these native doctors deceiving our brothers, telling them there's miracle somewhere. That if you on a life person and make a sacrifice, money will come from nowhere. My brothers, is a lie. No money. If you do good, you surely receive good.
As it should be.
If you don't stop this evil, what society are you living for your children? What society? The people doing organ transplanting and they will put it on you. Ask yourself. So that person they take his organ to give to you. Ask yourself, without not the person giving you willingly, they killed or they took it by force and give it to you. Ask yourself, does it really worth it? Because at the end of the day, you must surely die. And you must pay for your evil, whether you know or you cover up or you will be sent to go and unalive somebody. Ask yourself, does it the person that is sending you, if it is bold enough, why can't he go by himself? Why should you be the partaker of the evil? Coming to our brothers like Boko Haram, please, whatever terrorist you are in Nigeria, whatever you are doing, you know where the government is. You know where they live in their houses. Those people that contracted you people and give you guns and turn it to their people. I want to ask you, does it really worth what you are doing? Saying you are fighting for God. Who told you that God needs your fight? You must kill somebody because you want to serve your God. Who told you that God really is? Read the Bible, read the Quran that they give to you. Does God ask you to fight for him? God knows how to fight his battle. If they want to talk, they will tell you God knows how. Why are you unaliving your own brother? Because of God. When really, God never asked you to do anything. He said you should praise him. He never asked you to kill anybody for him. Why our brother being deceived every day? We Nigeria, we need to research. We need to search our conscience. We should stop. Look at these so-called leaders that is in hem of affair. They chase all their brother away. Go to all over Europe, all over the world. It's only Nigerians that is in prison, serving. Only God knows how many years they will serve. You say you are a leader. You eat, you go to church, you wake up, you breathe, and you think that God will forgive you with all this evil. I never think. If that God forgive you, that means that God is just a written God. Because I never see. All our traditional rulers, why are you people keeping quiet, sleeping on duty? You people have the responsibility. They come to you, you join the politics, and now the tradition has run away from you people. Because if you tell me that God you serve as a traditional God, that he have ever asked you, any of you, not to kill anybody for her or to honor life anybody for sacrifice, I don't understand the God. So if not, they should wake up. Our traditional rulers, you should wake up. Every mankind in Nigeria should wake up. This is not just anything, but why are these two hating?
It's like a such. It's like a saying, you know what? Even what we say in Yoruba, we say something in Yoruba that that even the wicked, they know they are wicked.
Yes.
You get that now? Like if wicked people, right? That you will be like, oh, man, this person is so wicked. They do know themselves. So if you're a wicked person and there's no wickedness that is too big or too small. Anything you do to hurt or harm others, at least that is wickedness, right? Search your soul.
That is it. Search your soul. All the military. Ask yourself, is that what you swear an oath on? If you're a police officer, if not, let us go back and take our country back and do the right thing. Let everybody start making difference. Wherever you are, we are one people. Why should we die for our thing? Why should we not enjoy ourselves the way Nigerian people are happy people all over? Why are we treating ourselves like dogs? Please, and if you hear my voice, I think you should search yourself and change the way you think. Thank you and God bless you, Mr. Maiyegun. Thank you.
God bless you in 10 and 100 million fold for saying this.
Thank you very much.
You too.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Jay, help us, oh. Help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. descend, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet? The presidency now is calling you, come, I want to help you. You don't want to appear. Will you agree? No. Now the first lady is calling you, come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? No. Child, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. The bloods we are sharing, there is God, oh. 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 It's okay.
Adiola.
Yes, sir. Ekale Okusheo.
Baba. Ekale, how are you?
Ekale, this is your first call. I don't understand.
Man is
But,
just so concerned. Like a man, it's like my guy was like watching, and he sat there and he was like, how could people be so evil? How can people be so? Search your soul, search yourselves, and I love it.
Baba,
I do.
Baba, I don't finish now. I think I would probably maybe bring it slightly into perspective from what the first caller said. It's not about asking. There are two terms. There's ex ante, that's before the fact, and there's ex post, after the fact. So this is after the fact. It's not about what country do you want us to inherit. Baba, we don't inherit them already now. It's my point. So this is ex post. This is after the fact. So there isn't anything, Baba. Baba, we don't collect time now. Baba, we don't collect time. You see, you've collected, you've inherited. Yeah, no. See, Maiyegun, from my own economics brain, I was calculating probably 1,000 per dollar. But now we've hit 2,000. This is my point. So this is ex post. They have clearly, giving us
bottom to how low they can go.
No,
actually, we've sunk so much that
they
have asking that how low can we go? Possibly it's not.
No, it's not about how low. It's not about low. You have formally passed on a dystopian economy to young people. This is dystopia. You have successfully passed on dystopia. You have given dystopia as inheritance to people. There is no way you can explain this out. So it's not about asking anyone. This is no. This is the fruit of it.
Reality already.
This is the reality. If anyone is in their 80s or their 90s and they die today, they have successfully left dystopia for their children and their children's children. It is the fact. So let us stop beating around the bush and look at things in clear perspective.
Face the whole thing squarely.
And face it squarely. This is exposed. This is after the fact of corruption, after the fact of looting, after the fact of destruction, after the fact of tribalism, after the fact of nepotism, after the fact of all kinds of rubbish.
Like unimaginable things that 10 years ago you can only imagine them, and people will say your heart. You see 10 years ago, things that are happening today. If you imagine them 10 years ago, people will say you are having problem. Like, how could your mind be so messed up that you are imagining things like this will happen in Nigeria? Nobody will believe you that these things will ever happen in Nigeria 10 years ago.
So, Maiyegun, are we in dystopia or are we in utopia? Please answer the question. Just very briefly. We're in dystopia. So we're in dystopia, because the way I see dystopia is I would probably take 10 things to make 100, 1/10, and measure it across health, education, security, opportunity, blah, 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 blah. we have gotten 0 over 10, 0 over 10, 0 over 10, 0 over 10. So I can conveniently tell you that we are close to 100% dystopia. We are close to 100% dystopia. Not even 10% utopia, because nothing, you can't score any area of life 10 over 10 Nigeria. You can't score. Maybe you can score our resilience. I don't think it counts for anything anymore, because the way people are suppressed and intimidated every single day. So conveniently, we are closer to dystopia. And one thing that makes me, because you can look at the small scheme of things, as in West Africa, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. We can all go back and forth about Africa and about Nigeria. But in the big scheme of things, Baba, you have denied Black civilization the opportunity to come up. All these evil leaders, you have denied us to come up. You are holding down generation of Black people. That's Black civilization. They made it clear that they don't want Black people to go ahead in civilization, to build governance systems, to build prosperity. You are always pulling us down. So that's the bigger scheme of things. That if we look at Africa to Africa, that's fine. But if you look at Black people to the world itself, it is unimaginably wicked. So there is no other way, because Maiyegun, if everything keeps on going the way it's going, in the next 2 years, nothing will change. Do you think price of Palita would drop back to 200 naira?
It's impossible.
Do you think it's impossible? Do you think naira, will overpower dollar, overpower pound, and to be at parity in the next election cycle? Do you think people will be more prosperous in the next 2 years, Maiyegun?
It's impossible.
Because you can't wish.
In the next, if you have to even start it, or if they start it now, maybe in the next 50 years. Then maybe after,
except maybe there's a radical change and we break up the whole system, because the fruits for the next 2 years has been planted already, and it's going to germinate and grow. So there's no prayer point about say, okay, it is going to magically appear. You have to uproot those evil seeds, uproot those evil systems, and until we break it down and to say, okay, because looking at it clearly, we didn't even collect independence as one entire massive nation. It was different regional. It was in regions. So we should think in regions, or if that region does not pay you, then exit the whole system. Baba, God bless you, sir.
And you too.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Baba, for always coming around. I have another caller as well. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello there. Can you, okay. See, if I pick your call, right? If I pick your call, don't use me to begin to breathe, please. Okay? Just say hello straight up, right? Rather than and now that, please. I don't want to appear like I'm kind of like a pissed off, right? Hello.
Hello, Baba.
Erumole, tell me breathe.
Me low bedroom voice for you, Baba. Hello.
Kind of trying to catch your breath.
No, Baba.
How are you today, Baba?
I'm good, Baba. Congratulations on that your surgery.
This program tonight affects a lot of people. You realize everybody just kind of feels so much like down, like
Baba.
And
Baba, my own first concern, they say now your surgery now ain't important first.
Well, I think I'm getting better.
So thank God say at least Baba Coca-Cola Tanle.
I book yellow rite.
Like Joe, Michelle.
Irumole, how are you tonight, Baba?
Baba, me come in you, I don't want
$1. Kuta won sheni
$1.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Baba, my earth might be my own priority. How my sister and the children, everything. No verse, normally I'm supposed to call you. If I get small flu. And your boy for here, last week Tuesday, I just entered secondary school. Baba, I don't know say that one. What the better this one be? I'm going to she taught school last how many years? So I don't know say no say all their things for UK. Yeah, and they tell you, Baba, to go back to that thing no dey easy. Now to start again as you want enter. Onikalo Kumi and your sister here, we need to change our work shifts again. Baba, no days. Make me always answer. I know now you do drama. You are my sister.
Let's get on with it, Rumole, please, because of our time.
So, Baba, we thank God though for everything. Thank God.
I appreciate God, yeah.
Well, to me, Baba, on it about Guyo, no way, about Saber, no papa. And to my yo.
That's right.
And to the you. And to my Baba. No be today you did talk up. No be yesterday. You don't say where you did talk up. But as they talk these things every day by day, different one. You understand me? You know, even there are a lot of people. We just now just think, oh, I beg. I don't get blood pressure because of Nigeria. I beg. I'll just carry and come off for mine.
See?
Because the thing just they get worse and worse and worse and worse on daily basis. You can never hear any good news from the country where we say we come from, brother. Make no day even pass, brother. Make they even tell you one good news. Say, okay, see one good news.
We are not saying that the good news should last for a whole year. Just one day. I say, today was fine.
Just one day. No, but today was okay. No, you can never hear any good news. But that country, when my Igbo in-laws, when they go to talk, say, na zoo. Some of all this about Baku, you understand me? Then go to verse, they will take offense. You understand me? But that is the reality. Nigeria na zoo for zoos. Inside zoo, Baba, people still they get sympathy and empathy from themselves. Animals still they get sympathy and empathy. There are some videos where they come across where you go see tiger, go carry all this small other animal, their kids, you go just carry out. You know, go just attack out. You go look at you just keep out. But nothing like that in Nigeria.
No.
Every day by day, sharing of blood. What? To me, that's why I say, God, though, they are God, where they shout, where they think they deceive themselves. But they save them, if
it can, if it will.
We then quickly divide the country, Baba.
Even their own God, they are so scared
to
of
save more life.
Now
I they tell you now, when Baba Debo is with the life for them, when Debo is with the life for them, say, very soon, you don't need a room play. But in the end, private jet. Baba, on Shiri, some person will tell me, say, I no go. You
know, they won't even have problem with such utterances. You won't need a plane to travel. You won't need a plane to go to London. Now, they don't have problem with that until when you says, well, this does not make sense now. How dare you? How dare you? Did you know that he's a man of God? What do you mean? He's speaking in parables. Say, what the heck, man?
Shamalamalan. Ori man of God, Ori man of God. I hear it badge. I hear man of God to badge. A person will tell me, say, but even though told me about it, Maiyegun, but the matter me very soon. Me need the plane. That's it for. That's in Nigeria. London.
Saying it to that. Baba,
you don't even the.
And now,
but if the them say, okay, you don't go need plane, to fly from like Lagos to Ibadan. From Nigeria to London, no need plane. Emio, Baba, me fee. I know they fear to talk about me. All of now, where they follow that Adeboye, I ain't baje.
I tell you, you know waiting
make me
kind of like take offense a lot is that if you say something right now, right, a typical brainwashed Nigerian believes that for them to sort of prove that they have a powerful God, okay, is when, because I have said something they don't like, okay, I may just die young. As if to say I'll be the first person to die young, right? And that's how they justify their God and say, God go just kill you. You better watch your mouth. But people are being killed in Nigeria every day, young, old, not because it is their time, because of the kind of country they have created for them, right? So now I'm like, why should anybody threaten anybody with a failed country that could actually kill us anytime and then ascribe that to their God and say that is the God that is punishing people for not or for disobeying their men of God? It irritates me to my bone, you know.
Baba, you know what I say? They don't mad. Their head, make a take for PD. Their head no correct. All these people they follow this pastor. Redeem winner to Igbania, all those churches. All of them. I know they move anyone. You know why?
Why?
Why person will go they tell you the truth? You go they wish I'm dead.
Just to cover
Person
the
when they
people who are
try
doing
to
evil.
open your eyes. You understand me? Say, okay, this thing now, don't think I'm now. They deceive you now. Why would they wish I'm dead? And Baba, ẹni tó bá ru kúrò wá, wọ́n máa ṣáájú wa
Come on,
nìṣó.
Nisho Lorun, Baba.
Wọ́n máa nìṣó lọ́rùn bàbá.
It is
Now
what
leave
it
you,
is.
Jare. Good night.
Thank you
Now
so
give
much,
other
Baba.
people chance. Good night. My regards to my people. Thank you. Bye.
And to yours too, okay? Say me well to everybody, all right? And then to our lady today, okay? Nice one, Baba. That's a rumor calling in. The A is calling in to check on me. And then, yeah, I'm fine. I'm getting there. I'll say, I have another caller. Hello.
Oh, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. Oh,
Good
we are
evening.
fine. Oh, how is Glasgow today? Our
Well,
Glasgow, our Glasgow.
You know, we are
Yeah.
here. We know the run, you know. Thanks so much for asking.
Yes, so thank God for your recovery from the surgery and everything.
Thanks so much.
We thank God for His mercy and everything. Yes, I want to contribute to this discussion.
Please go ahead.
It is so painful that in the 21st century, Africans, in fact, let me not use the word Africans, let me go to Nigeria. Nigeria has gone back to before 1914. It is so painful. That's the word to use. It is so painful. Even with all the level of education that people have gotten in Nigeria, at least we can boast of not less than 20 to 40 million graduates. The basic thinking, logical thinking, logic and our first year in university, they don't have it. It is so painful that in the 21st, at least that course was taught for people to learn how to think.
Somebody said the old money that Awolowo, for example, especially in the Southwest, and then in the Southwest, to say if Awolowo knew then that the product of his own education are going to end up as a messed up generations that will also mess up other generation, Awolowo should have used that money to carry Olosho. Nobody will even blame him. Look at those ones who are there denying us education. Go on,
Baba. If Awolowo should wake up and see what the Southwest people allowed some scrupulous miscreants turn them into, the man will cry.
Tell me about
He will cry because this is not what he wished for his people at all. It was unnecessary, but he knew it was a British plan, but he gave his people a strategic advantage only for less than 20 years for them to rubbish everything back.
Run everything down.
Run everything down. It is so painful. Baba, there is an information I need to give you people. Nigerians are not reading. They are listening to useless channels TV, Arise TV, Nigerian government look on pay what they saw news more. There is an Associated Press report of June 24, 20 this year. Right. I can't remember the exact, but around June. There's a report that was done by a French think tank on terrorism in West Africa.
Right.
3,200 jihadist fighters have left Benin and Burkina Faso because of the heat they are receiving there, and they moved to Niger State.
Wow.
In Nigeria, yeah. Armed to the teeth. According to the report, out of the 27 local governments that are in Niger State, I think the government is only in charge of 12, controlling 12.
No doubt.
The remaining one is under terrorism. There is no single soldier here. There's no single army.
Did you see what the Katsina State governor, the interview this Katsina State governor just gave to the DW or so in German media platform, that out of just one single local government area, right, in Katsina State, with over 200 communities, they only have 32 policemen. 200 communities.
Papa, Nigeria is at a state of war. They are busy shouting Edo versus Igbo. All those things are distractions. So Nigeria, if Nigerian government comes out and gives the true security report in Nigeria, everybody will march to that house of Referendum and chase everybody. That is what is going to happen. As I'm talking to you, IDP camp in Edo State, one first elections, there are more than 5,000 people, 4,500 people in IDP camp in Edo State. We're not talking of Benue State.
Ballot box. They go carry ballot box, ballot paper to IDP camp.
In Edo State, Ogun State, it's not even in the news. All those border towns between Nigeria and Benin Republic, that place is full of Fulani terrorists. They don't even know which terrorist again is that one. What illegal one? That is why there's food insecurity. There's no food in Nigeria because about 60 to 7% of the farming areas in Midwestern, in mid-Nigeria and some part of Southwest, they cannot go to farm. Wow. They cannot farm anything. Even in Oyo, when Sunday Go was saying that thing, and I don't know, people are thinking this part just talking story. Yesterday, how many people they killing on those states? People are there shouting Thiefnubu APC. What's wrong with our people? I don't even understand it. I don't even understand. They are shouting IPOB this, IPOB this.
We are watching Bello releasing video after video in Nigeria. So the admiration of so many of us looking at him and be like, God damn it, man.
It is so funny. Look at the whole problem in the Southeast. They are shouting IPOB. IPOB is not the problem. What is happening in the state is a political. I don't know why if Nigerians have a very short fuse or a short memory. What is happening in Imo State is a political problem because of the votes, the election that Uzodinma went to steal.
From the word go,
that's the problem there.
From day one. Baba, we just watched. Nnamdi Kanu was, see, I'm glad you said that, Baba. Nnamdi Kanu, that they all dread and feared so much, right? For all the time that Nnamdi Kanu was teaching everybody and telling everybody about this and that will happen, there was no single terrorism event in Eastern Nigeria. Not even a robbery.
Yes.
Not even an armed robbery situation.
Nothing.
Talk less of kidnapping. But today,
I'm telling you, they are the ones doing this thing because if you know the amount of money these people collect for security votes that is going into their pockets, my brother, you will not believe it. All those areas in the north.
This much.
I don't understand. The thing is so crazy. It's unbelievable. And that's why we've been trying to tell everybody in the South that, look, it is better we are ruling ourselves as independent country, but united by trade. That is what Europeans are doing. This problem we have in Africa, it's not as if it's a new problem. Europeans did this thing for 2,000 years, killing themselves like mad people, until they killed almost 100 million, 40 million people during the Second World War, and they say no, we have to stop them.
They killed nearly 100 million people among themselves. Like, Baba, the only person that is so close to the level of individually is that King Leopold, what he did in Congo.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. At the time, they had to just say that, okay, we need to stop this madness. If not, we can't progress. And when they stop the madness, look at, you are living in their society. As at 1960, the difference between Nigeria and Britain in terms of infrastructure, the difference was not up to almost the same thing. When did they start building all these roads? When did they start building all these cities? When did they start building it? Lagos was finer than Beijing. Lagos was finer than Beijing. Lagos was finer than Beijing. Let us not look as if they had one over advantage. No, we are almost the same thing because their countries were destroyed, they were building, and we started at the same time. But we have gone back. That madman called Buhari is a curse. And that's why I can never forgive Thiefnubu for anything. Because he brought this plague of Buhari into this country. He brought the plague of Buhari. The laziest Nigerian ever born is that man called Muhammad Buhari. Never passed an exam in his life, and he became the president twice. That's to tell you how useless Nigeria has become. He couldn't even pass a military exam in his life, and he became the president twice. Remove the democratic government, and they still voted the man is a cause.
30 years later, with the same democracy he truncated 30 years ago.
They gave him, it is in fact, it's a capital sin. It should never have happened in the first place. If Nigeria was the same country, Buhari should have been executed since, arrested, lock him up and forget him. For treason. He should have been forgotten. But it's a shame that Nigeria, what is paining me that Southern people, Yoruba, Igbo, Edo, intellectually, capitally, we are complete. But the natural resources don't want you can't even quantify it. Is it the gold in Osun State?
No.
Is it the bitumen in Ondo State? Is it the oil and gas in Ondo State? What are we doing with these people that do not want to progress as a country?
Baba, we can't grow our own food. We are seeing those who are chasing our farmers away from the farm.
How did we get to this position? How? I don't know. Because I can remember it when Buhari came and I saw that nonsense he was doing with Ruga. I told somebody that APC will drive Nigeria to a civil war if we are not careful. They say it's not possible. I say, Baba, this thing is going to happen. That APC will drive Nigeria to a very bloody civil war. And if we are thinking that foreign countries will not be happy about it, they should go and read their propaganda on reducing world population. Nigeria is over 200 million, and our birth rate is very high. In the next, by 2050, what will be almost 300 million. If we are dying, they'll be very happy. If we kill ourselves tomorrow, they'll be extremely very happy. If we start a war to reduce our population by 200 million, they'll be very, very happy.
Of course, now.
They will give us free of charge. I say they will sell us weapons.
To kill ourselves.
They will give you people free of charge. When you finish yourself, they'll come and take the resources in the land free of charge. What is happening in the northwest? Is that not in the northeast? Is that not what is happening there? Zambiza forest, there are taking everything.
A lot of things going on there, Baba, as we speak. But now we are busy killing ourselves, talking about terrorism, and all the resources are leaving Nigeria in droves, Baba. There was a time I published a video on this platform where we saw trucks. You remember that one? Now we saw this truck that was loading these trucks that were loading timber. Clothing. Is that timber or what do you call it?
Timber.
From the southeast, Baba. I don't know where they go. I don't know how many forests they have to cut all those down. They didn't plant them back. China is loading.
If Nigerians know the amount of solid minerals that are leaving this country undocumented, we cannot be talking of poverty. Is it lithium that they are mining in somewhere in Osun State and Jos?
If you go, let's say gold. What they are actually mining from Osun alone, if they lay their hand on that data, they will understand that they shouldn't be part of this Nigeria anymore.
I'm telling you, and that's why it pains me so much when I see my fellow educated Southwesterners talking about tribalism. I see my brother Kilon share. Go and read. You people are not reading. You are not read book. Go and read and know what is happening in your land. Go and read and know what's happening in your land. These people are destroying your children's future, and you're keeping quiet.
And we are busy doing our tribal Olympics, ethnic
Olympics,
championship.
Nothing will not make sense. Foolish things. And that's why these people constantly abuse us and call us monkeys. That's why they have the function to do it. Because we are destroying ourselves.
Damn. Baba, I'll take another
Baba,
one. I love that energy, by the way. Thank you so much, okay?
Yes, sir, Baba. Thank you.
Okay? I love it. You see, sometimes people need to understand the fact that the way the world works, you have, the saddest part of it is that people actually do know all of these things. Unfortunately, we have so invested in this tribal division. And see, let's be honest, so if you are from the southern part of Nigeria, somehow, if you do not, I hardly use this word, okay? But I'm going to use it now. If you do not hate the criminal politicians from the southern part of Nigeria, you probably do not know what they are doing to you. And if you say you hate the the politicians from southern part of Nigeria, based on the little you probably know of what they are doing, you are not hating them enough. Why are they doing this to us? The prince.
Maiyegun General.
Prince Jejeman, representing
IPOB for life, Baba.
Yeah, same. Thank you so much, Baba, for calling in. Please.
Yeah. Tukado Mike. Baba with the hello.
Thank you.
First of all, please, I want to beg everyone on this platform. Let's share this program. We're not going to enjoy this alone and selfishness. Yeah. I beg moku share. Before I come here, not be say because I too like Maiyegun, but at least I share to 5 groups before I begin to watch. That's my tradition every day. So please let if all of us keep to that, at least group. If you share to 1 group, you can't even share up to 5. At least 1, it will go a long way. This message needs to. Our people need to. The people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Our people need to have this knowledge, information. Very important. Thank you, Maiyegun General. You are doing a great job.
Jejeman for always, okay? Nice one, man. Please.
Baba, I want to remind them, especially those that are in the north. Mazen and the Kano started from the north. This agitation, this self-determination, freedom, Mazen and the Kano started from the north to agitate, to protest against the killings of northerners.
That is
Nnamdi Kanu never started. It never started with Biafra.
No, it didn't. And you are right. A reminder.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government through the High Commissioner that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done. And the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the Council Committee for peace. The one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody who has the interest of the country at heart acts now and immediately to stop this nonsense from continuing.
Thank you, Maiyegun General. Thank you. Thank you. Always bring this information so that the people in the north and the Nigeria in general, those who are misinformed of what is going on, those who we are told that when they kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, that is for their national security. Nnamdi Kanu saw where Nigeria was heading to. Nnamdi Kanu saw this hunger that they are using to destroy Nigerian people today. Nnamdi Kanu saw that you Nigerians, you are not citizens in your own country. That is the reason why he was protesting against what Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen terrorists was bringing to the north. He was started the fight for the northern people. If you hear him in this video, you can see that Nnamdi Kanu never mentioned anything like Biafra.
No.
It was when Nnamdi Kanu saw
there was no single event of terrorism in southern Nigeria at the time when he was saying this. And guess those who actually condemned him, most of them are from the southern Nigeria. They said he's an alarmist. They said it's this and that. Oh my God, man. A good man is being punished by the evil people who wanted all of us to actually bleed to death. And we are bleeding now. We are.
Maiyegun will continue to remind them because Nigerians do forget. Today now, in the southwest, 5 kings, 5 Obas were killed in the space of 5 days. Today, Maiyegun, you are showing us on this platform a woman who was killed shot in the neck. Probably they raped that woman the way she was lying there before they killed her. It was Fulani herdsmen terrorists that did that. In Southwest, not in Niger, not in Senegal. But these Ronukus and the Agbadorians are telling you that Turumbu Omashe. There no news carry this. Maiyegun, you are the one that is showing us this. The main extreme medias in Nigeria, they cannot show it. They have been warned not to give out this information to the people to know what is going on. Turumbu, you don't know where he is. He never come out to address you, never come out to tell you anything. When you even protested, they kill about 50, more than 100 Nigerians and lock up over 2,000 Nigeria inside cell. And you still, people are still saying, beating their chest and say,
they will do 8 years, there's nothing you can do.
No, 8 years, and this is a Nigerian, proud to be a Nigerian. All of you have to know that Nnamdi Kanu, before he started to agitate for Biafra, he has seen that Nigeria is going nowhere. And that's the reason why they locked him up. Now, most of you are protesting. Only Olumoyele Sowore that put in his own protest, Nnamdi Kanu, as one of the agenda. The rest, I never see anybody among them that talk about Nnamdi Kanu and they want justice. You think God they sleep, including the Christians, including the Muslims that he was fighting for in the north. Nnamdi Kanu was fighting. None of them None of them talk about Nnamdi Kanu. They never see him as somebody that should have justice.
No.
And they want justice. And they think that hunger will not kill all of them. They think that these vampires will not drink their last blood. Nigerians are joking. What I want to tell them tonight, the way Nigeria is going, is better very soon. Even your money in the bank will not be your own again. The little change you have inside that bank will not be your own. Nnamdi Kanu said this long time ago. He said it. And it's happening today. You know, the only thing that can save you in that country called Nigeria is to fight for your own self-determination as Nnamdi Kanu is doing. Under one Nigeria umbrella, this criminal will remain there, both east, west, north, and south. Nigeria is their platform to make sure that they keep you poor forever and ever. And you know that they are being installed, just as the last caller said. He said that Buhari, who don't even know where his slate that he used in school, where it is, an illiterate, tag illiterate, someone, he ruled Nigeria twice. And you think that country is a country where people like Wole Soyinka, those who have the knowledge of our ancestors, where they are, somebody who do not know how to write on slate, came and ruled them twice. Look at Turumbu now. He came out going to school as a woman.
Another person will not go school. Is now a drug lord.
Impersonated.
Is now ruling over supposed enlightened, educated people. The irony.
Another illiterate impersonated somebody certificate. Who is a woman? No, why is a man? Impersonated somebody certificate. Back in Nigeria, the school where they say he went to, he started the school before the school came into existence. That is somebody that is ruling you, and is your president, and you are proud Nigeria. You are calling the person to come and help you. God help you. We are Biafra or Biafra or Biafra. We are ready. Somebody was saying, or somebody by the name Uruago, he said that IPOB, that Nigeria can track them anywhere. I said, this one, is he mad? We say Biafra or is Biafra or death. They don't understand. We are not afraid to die until we get our Biafra. It's to the last man standing. Someone is telling us that they can track us. We are all on Nnamdi Kanu. Let them kidnap us all over the world.
I know.
You know? So, my good general, God bless you.
And you too, Prince Jejeman. God will help me continue to bless you too. Thanks a lot for this, okay? Because we started late, so I'm taking one more before we call it a night. Here, hello.
Hello, Maiyegun. How you doing, my brother?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Nice to see you. Good. It's nice to see you back, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we really missed you. Thank God you're feeling better again.
I'm grateful that I am. So thank you very much. Please.
It's Victor from Frankfurt. I don't know if you already caught my voice or.
Say that again. Sorry.
It's Victor calling from Germany, Frankfurt.
Oh, thanks so much for actually clarifying that, because initially I was like, is that Paulo or it's Victor? Thank you so much, Victor, for calling in. Okay, please, sir.
Yes, Maiyegun. You see, bro, you know what? You know, the situation with Nigeria is pathetic, my brother. One thing that people don't seem to understand is this idea of divide and rules from the political class. You know, karma is real. Karma is real. You showed a video about Shetima, you know, having to swim in a pool of water to get to the Shehu of Bonuse Palace.
That's right.
Because of this corruption of a thing that's eventually almost wipe out a whole community. Yes. Because they refused to use the money that was meant for that project for a good purpose. Instead, corruption, which has eaten deep into the society as a cankerworm, is almost destroying everybody in Nigeria. And that is the reason why somebody like so-called Kolu will become a president in Nigeria, despite all the political baggages that he had. You see, the days that the truth dies in a country, that's when that country is finished. Yes. Because, yes, my brother.
You kill the truth in a country, you kill the soul of that country. What is left is just carcass.
That's it.
Of a country. And that's what Nigeria is right now. If we are being kind of honest, it might be harsh, but it's the truth. No country survives on this trajectory. No country can survive in this trajectory, Baba.
No. I knew we were heading for doom by the time we had the state capture and then the legislature was captured. And the last straw that breaks the camel's back was the judiciary. That refuses to stand for the truth in Nigeria. I mean, people might be saying that the police are corrupt. The police are corrupt. The organs of government that are corrupt in Nigeria, the executive, which the police are part of it, the legislature, but most importantly, the judiciary, which is supposed to be the last hope of the common man.
The rule of law. A country without rule of law is more or less like a banana republic. In fact, it is a banana republic.
It is. In fact, that is what is killing us. That is what has brought us to our kneel in Nigeria. Otherwise, you tell me a country, how many countries is really that rich with human resources and natural resources?
How many?
The way it is in Nigeria. The only country that can be compared to Nigeria in the whole world is Republic of Congo.
God bless you.
We don't seem to know what we have. Rather, because of our selfishness, it is selfishness that brought Kolu to power. Because people were greedy. They were ready to accept money and sell their soul to the devil. In the process, the whole of us were dragged with this drag net that we're now paying for. Whether innocent or victim,
we are all in this ship right
that's
now,
it.
and it is sinking.
That's it. Somebody said if care is not taken, that the APC is going to drag us into civil war. Of course, we are already there. It's been happening. It's been happening. Why do you think
which country buries our own citizens like Nigeria does as we speak in the hands of terrorists? Which country have thousands, tens of thousands of our citizens in the hands of terrorists as victims in their country? How many countries have that in the world?
Okay, thank you, my brother. I have never seen any country in the world that the political leader will go and import foreigners to come into their country and start killing their own citizens. In fact, that is the height of treason.
For political power.
That is the height of unpatriotic citizens. They're talking about patriotism. It's not about singing national anthem.
No.
It's what you do for your country that makes you patriotic. But our leaders are corrupt, they are unpatriotic, they are selfish, and all they are after is just they themselves and their family and nothing else. A country where somebody is ready to amass billions, money that your next generation can never spend, just because you want to be the only one that have it. You want to have it all at the expense of the other person.
Your mercy.
Yeah. For others to be coming to worship you, what does it profit you? If you have, I have, Mr. A has, Mr. B has, everybody, have, just the way it is here in the Western world. Nobody will come and beg you for food. No. Then you are satisfied with what you are earning, and then you can live comfortably with the little that you have. You don't have to own the whole world. What for? Yeah. But reverse is the case in Nigeria. Only one man will want to own billions, and then the others will come with the cup in their hand and start begging for food every morning, like they do in the north. They call them Mamajiri. I don't know what they call it.
Victor, I was reading about something. I was reading a news yesterday, right? And it's about this fund for international students, right? Nigerians who get scholarship to go and study abroad. Okay. And they said this guy stole $1.2 million from this fund I can't remember the name, right? But it was meant to actually fund all this. It's like you apply for scholarship of this or that, and then people have to take them from the underprivileged, member. Then somebody stole 1.2 million, and all these students abroad, they were told at the same time, they were told to return back to Nigeria because the country is not paying their tuition anymore. It's not paying their rent, and their education have to stop. Then the news said they've arrested the person who stole the 1.2 million. Guess what? He has a lawyer. He's going to court. He's not giving up the money. But you see the careers and the future of those people ruined. They have to go back to Nigeria.
Continues to grant them injunction.
And the judiciary will grant them
justice.
bail.
Oh, in fact,
like who does this? Who does that? Why would you do this to your own people?
I don't want to say I regretted being in Nigeria, my brother. That would be a very silly thing to say because God actually blessed us. But because of our wicked nature, we threw away everything that God has given us. The foreigners come into our country. You see, those wretched criminals who come from China and they come into our country. They come with nothing. When they go back home being a millionaire.
Yeah.
Go and see what they are doing in our societies. Plundering our resources, left, right, and center, and nobody question them. No. Some of the people don't even know what they are doing, and yet they'll be saying yes sir to them.
Man, I hope people who have a chance to watch some of these revelations and listen to this program and the rest should actually sit and reflect. Okay, sit and reflect and see, like my first caller said, right? How do you think it's going to be like if you have to leave this world and you have to leave your children? Do you really think your children will survive in this world that, somehow we've either enabled it by our actions and inactions over the years? Do you think our children will survive in this world we have created for them if we are gone? And if you feel concerned, then probably it is time for everybody to actually do something. Everyone.
It is sad. It is sad, my brother. Did you know what actually happened? Among my children, 2 of them, before they started university, they're doing their masters now.
Right.
Before they started university, I said, I want to take them to go and see where their father comes from so that they can always return back home. Thank God I did. That was about 5 years ago.
Oh.
Before they started going to the
university, yeah.
Yes, and the things they saw in Nigeria, they were actually amused. They were, they want to come back again. Nigeria wasn't that bad as it is now. And then the other one that is just going to
actually wanted us to never come back. Do you know that?
Okay, now I can't ask them to go back there. They want to go back, but I'm the one stopping there. Even the one that is going to start normally, because I usually tell them that before you start university, it's good for you to go back home.
Exactly.
The third one now is going to start this September, and she was supposed to have gone to Nigeria to go and see what Nigeria is like, but I was too scared to allow her to go.
Experience that is so golden. It used to be.
Can you imagine?
Right? You left Nigeria as a young man, and then you pursued your own career abroad, started a family. You want them to go back and check where you come from so that they can have the joy of both worlds, right?
So sad.
But now they are being denied, and there are generations of our own descendants that will be denied the same. It's unfortunate.
Maiyegun. Oh, the issue with Nigeria.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the good job you're doing. Please keep it up.
My regards to everyone as well. Okay, so it is, I'm taking one more simply because I haven't actually spoken to a lady tonight. So I'm going to take one, and it's probably going to be this caller. I hope I'm right. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
See, I was right. Somehow my instinct tells me I will be speaking to a lady. I just didn't know when, right? But how are you, ma'am?
Good. I know your time is gone, so maybe I wouldn't even spend up to 5 minutes.
Let's get to it then. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How do you feel?
I'm getting there, like quickly, faster than I actually envisaged. So yeah, I'm very fine. Thanks for asking.
Thank you for taking my call.
I know. Thanks.
So,
please.
So So, Maiyegun, I have a question for you.
Please go ahead.
Can you give what you don't have?
No, I can't. Absolutely, because I don't have it.
Thank you. So you see, we don't have it in us. And that is why we're suffering this much. Wow. We don't have it. You don't have love to give. You can't give it to the next person. We are so selfish, so self-centered. In fact, your first caller tonight said things that have always been on my mind. We're going to go. We'll leave our kids in the diaspora. They have nowhere to go. And the thing is that sometimes when I sit, I look at it, I'm like, okay, there may be one day, I live in America. Somebody will wake up and say, okay, all these Africans, you got to go. Yeah, my kids are Americans. I'm not. But then they have the African name. So by the time they say, okay, you people have to go, where are they going to go to? We're not thinking. We're not thinking. We are not thinking at all. You see, everyone is selfish. Everyone is greedy. Everyone wants to just hold everything. And then because and you see,
me, I don't want to be bothered. Please spare me.
Exactly. You know, I remembered when the killings in just the Middle Belt was going on. I have some friends and I'll be like, I'm so concerned about this. Oh, you know what? It's not coming towards us and I don't think it will come towards us. You see that coldness. But today, Nigeria is burning from north to south, east to west. So sometimes when something is happening, that is why like the Hausa man will tell you that if you see your neighbor's beards being caught on fire, just get water and put on yours. That is prevention. Don't just sit down and say, you know what, it's not happening to me, and then you are all relaxed. That is what is happening to us in Nigeria. We don't feel for the next person. As far as it is not us, we don't give a damn. Now, Nigeria, the way it's going, it's for all of us to all rise up. And sometimes I can understand when my people from the East will say, oh, you know what, we wouldn't go there, we'll be killed. And yes, they are right. But I feel like there are some things that, you know, we can all do. We can all contribute somehow for this contraption to break. Now, I am someone who is related somehow everywhere.
You see, we all are, to be honest.
Yes.
It's just that we sometimes want to blank out that part and pretend that they don't exist.
Yes.
Oh, we can't.
They do, my God, and I suffer it. You know, when I say my people in the East, because my kids are Igbos, I'm not.
Oh dear.
You see, but what affects anybody in the East affects me. What affects anybody in the North affects me, in the East, in the South, because I am not that. I'm not selfish. And it breaks my heart to see what is going on. You know, my husband was like, let's go home, let's go home. I'm like, I'm not going home. I'm not going home because I don't know what will happen the next minute.
And then they will tell you that maybe you are just paranoid. Don't worry, it's not like that. Oh,
no, I've stood my ground. The last time I went was 2022. My pain is just like what my brothers earlier on said. Our children may not know the beauty of where we came from. And all of us, we came from somewhere that is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You understand? But I'm so emotional. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I pray that one day, somehow, this thing will come to an end. And how it comes to an end, I don't know. Whether it's by the breakup, I want it to come to an end.
Because it has to,
you know,
for the sake of our own offspring, our own descendants.
Exactly, for the sake of our offspring, the sake of our descendants. Some of us, we're almost up middle way.
You know?
How much do we have left, you know?
And that should be
Today,
concerning
somebody
too,
came.
right? We do not see, no matter
Oh
how
no,
much we
Maiyegun.
live again, ma'am, right? No matter how much we have,
Yeah.
it can never be, it can't be equal to how much we have already lived.
Exactly. Today, somebody came from my office because I'm a home care nurse. He was like, "Oh, did you watch the debate of the last night?" I'm like, "No." He looked at me, he laughed. I'm like, "What did they say? What did they say?" Who's your candidate? I'm like, you know what? It's the same coin. It's the same coin. So
We're all going to be dealt same card anyway. So
Exactly. You understand? And I feel for my kids. I feel so much for the generations that we're raising that may not be able to go back home to see the beauty of Africa.
We are worried for our own, when we're worried for our own kids, then let's also worry
It's
for
their
their
generation.
own kids too. Because gradually, they are cutting that, they are cutting that connection enough that if it continues like this, many of them will never know where we come from, ever.
Yes,
and that's
it's
the tragedy
true.
of existence.
It is, Maiyegun, it is. And sometimes I sleep and I get jolted up because of things like that. You wouldn't believe it, but this is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Believe.
Our resources are going, everything is going. At the end of the day, what is the land left with? We don't know. We don't know. Maiyegun, today, Maiyegun, manage your expectation. Maiyegun, my drug of choice. This is Latu Haruna.
God bless you, ma'am. I appreciate this, okay? And I'm glad that you didn't give up even checking the time.
No,
His time is gone, but I'll keep trying. I'm happy you did.
Yes, I just wanted to say this out. Like, we all are into it. We are the selfish ones.
Bless
yes.
You. You have a good night.
Thank you, and get better.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Okay, I appreciate this, and
Thank
you
you.
have a wonderful night. Okay, and my regards
And
to
you
all of
too.
them.
Bye.
Say me well to them. Okay.
I will. Regards to the family.
They will hear you. Thank you so much, ma'am, and good night.
Okay.
Now, that's a good one. Sometimes this program can become very emotional because if you really want to be true to yourself, right? The purpose of MaiyegunsDiary Politico every now and then is to make sure that we see beyond the headlines. We see beyond the article of the news or what have you. MaiyegunsDiary Politico connects you to the story. Not because it is happening to you, but because it's happening to people that, if you think very well, you could be that same people, that you are privileged enough that you are either far away from where it is happening, or even if you are there and it's not happening to you yet, does not give you the immunity of deafness or blindness. MaiyegunsDiary Politico is to help you connect to it. Connect to it means that imagine if this is happening to you. Imagine when all this kidnappings and killings and all this, the destruction by this political class and all that. Imagine if you are actually a direct, victim. How would you react? Would you still laugh? Would you still pretend there is nothing? No, you won't. That's why you share your evening with me almost every day, to remind all of us that for every victim of Nigeria's bad governance and all that, we are just like them. And if we feel like this is not good, this is bad, it shouldn't be happening, that's you connected to the story, connected to the news. Maybe by so doing, you likely will want to see a change. Not see a change, you probably will want to effect a change. This is my job every evening. When you ask me, why are you doing this? I'm doing this because it is the only way for now that could bring the attention to the problems before we all become victims. Thank you so much again for spending your evening with me. I'm going to see you some other time. You all have a wonderful night. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary na him be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Ìmọ̀ àyíṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ìmọ̀ àyíṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbẹ́ni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbẹ́ni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Allow the children it's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mind, and if we talk, na 500,000 they go sama us call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Politico, Maiyegun don come, this one not the off in mind. Maiyegun don come, and in the touchlight every corner. Maiyegun don come, okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó lódodo. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó lódodo.
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Maiyegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, read the caption of this broadcast, and please read beyond the caption. Read the description of this broadcast. Like it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Maiyegun today, Motideo. Thank you. Whatever you are going through in Nigeria right now, I am only preparing you for the future. If you don't enjoy it, your children and children will enjoy it. Who said that? Thiefnubu. To Nigerians. Meanwhile, Bello Turuji, the Fulani terrorist leader, is also back in the news. Same as Sepatawale, the supposed Minister of State for Defense. They will catch him. That's what the military says. The army. Nigeria court in Abuja granted bail to the hungry Nigerians that protested the end bad governance in Nigeria. They've been granted 10 million naira bail. Share this. Thank you. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in and joining us tonight. It is Maiyegun Live. And yes, another steamy night for every one of us. So thank you for joining us. Yesterday, Thiefnubu and his supposed handlers, they released this long torrential called statements as a response to all the counter criticism, counter call out coming from their their actions in the past week, where they have been hunting down those considered as the critic of his illegitimate regime in Nigeria. The latest of that was the kidnapping of the NLC president, Joe Ajero, on his way to London to attend the TUC International Conference, so to say. So he was arrested or kidnapped. I love using kidnapped. So he was kidnapped at the airport. They said Ajero has something to do with the end bad governance protest in Nigeria, including the indictment of a Briton, a librarian, somebody who owned a library in Nigeria, a British citizen, accused of funding and bad governance in Nigeria, which automatically put Ajero, according to them, on the spot, because the intention of the end bad governance in Nigeria, according to the Dokpemu Stupid Service under Thiefnubu, was that their intention was to overthrow Thiefnubu's illegitimate regime, and therefore they would take none of that. They said for the sake of national security, that's what they said. They said for the sake of national security, some people's actions are threatening Nigeria's national security, and therefore they won't take it lightly with anyone. That same day that they kidnapped Ajero, right? They also went to the Serap's office, where they surrounded their office in Abuja, demanding for the directors or the leaders of the Serap in Abuja. They didn't really get to have any of them arrested until, before they left. But there are so many media batching as usual. That is this democracy? Should democracy really be crazy demo? So Kolu and his gang responded to that. They said people are hungry and people are angry. How do you expect to beat a child? And at the same time, you want to dictate how the child should cry. You have unleashed the most inhumane policies on the people, and more people are falling into this hard time created by Thiefnubu. So in one stretch, they decided to respond. Don't worry, I'm not going to read all of that to you. I'll give you the summary. It's all long sort of torrential nonsense. But the highlight of it is that, no, you are wrong. No country will look away when some group of people have decided to overthrow the illegitimately formed government. I'm using that because that's who they are. They are not legitimate. So to say, Thiefnubu didn't win any election in Nigeria. Thiefnubu did not win any election to become president of Nigeria. He bought it, long story. And many of you are what? You are witnesses. He's got his own enablers, those who felt like as long as they are paid, as long as it benefits them. Well, if you are not comfortable with it, then you are enemy of Nigeria. Though they've done this many times, remember, that democracy was supposed to be a government where you have the freedom of this, freedom of that, freedom of this, freedom of that. But all those freedoms are now like fantasies. They are not freedom. Freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. All these freedoms have been revoked in Nigeria under the supposed Democrats. They are not democratic, you know that. Anyway, so people expressing themselves and then expressing their disgusts, their disappointments in this illegitimate regime has been considered as an affront. You know, if you criticize Thiefnubu in their own dictionary, when you criticize Thiefnubu like Bokwari, it simply means that you hate Nigeria. If you do not agree with Thiefnubu and his gang, automatically you are considered as an enemy of Nigeria and you will be treated as such. It doesn't matter. Even if it is obvious that you are reacting as a patriot, you know, let's even say like patriotic Nigerian, so to say, you have the right to say, I am fighting for my country, even though you don't have any country though, right? But still, by mere, geographical expression as Nigeria is, there are people who are living there and they are humans, which also have the universal right called human rights. Nobody gives that to you. It is God-given right until the dictators disguised as a Democrat decided to interpret that same right for you. And in their honest word, they want to tell you if you have any right or you don't. In this case, you do not. And to prove it to you, they said, take a look at America. The same America that a lot of you want to use.